Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Texas Showdown 2025 Guilty Gear Strive Top 8. It's your boy Sloth, joined by the handsome and talented
Takes one to know one.
CD
Mangaka, everybody. Hailing out from Colorado and Texas to try and balance out the representation we got in this top 8 bracket. We got plenty of Texas players. We got Daniel Maza from Mexico himself. And, of course, my own personal favorite in this bracket, Haruko, my girl, out from Colorado Springs. It is going to be one hell of a top 8 this year for Guilty Gear Strive. Pretty diverse character roster, I think, because we got Daniel Maza with the Kai. We got Frankentank with the Potemkin. We got Johnny from Haruko. Van Swarm playing Milia, if I remember right. Walter's been on chip most of the weekend, but we do know...
Also Milia.
And also Milia, yeah. And then the other two players, see, this is where
Flare G.
Flare G.
We got Flare G on chip and Kermit on Biken.
Kermit on Biken. Yes, Kermit was able to get into this top 8, so we're actually going to see some runbacks from an earlier tournament this year, potentially with Haruko and Kermit, because they played at Winter Showdown, the Little Colorado Regional. I got to run back in the end of February.
Who won that?
That would have been Column over Kermit. So Column got first, Kermit got second, Haruko got third. Losing to Kermit. But if I remember correctly, he sent him to losers.
Okay, and we're going to get right into it here. Winner semis. Danny versus Van Swarm. Danny on that Kai, Van Swarm on that Milia. Danny hailing from the motherland of Mexico. And Van Swarm getting it started off right with the same side high mix. Doesn't break the wall of Estes with the JD to recover, and we are in positive mode.
Yep, and of course Danny, first time playing in the United States of America properly. We've seen this man tear up so many online brackets, countless wins at like Paragon Online, top 8s in a TLS brackets as well. No stranger to this one, but Van Swarm saying, welcome to Texas, son.
Yeah, he's giving him a warm welcome right now. Like you were saying, Danny, one of the seasoned online veterans of this game, and not just showing that he's not just an onliner, he knows his stuff. Look, I played him online, I played him offline. He beats me on both sides. It feels the same. It feels the same. The connection's a little better down here, though. Anyways, back to it. Nice DP from Danny, getting out of that pressure from Van Swarm. Van Swarm just electing to escape away. You got to be real careful how you chase Milia, because you might end up in a situation like this.
Yeah, Danny runs up with the tap dust. Van Swarm not going to opt for the burst. Of course, it was a huge health deficit, so we don't want to waste that resource on an ill-fated attempt at a comeback. We said we'd rather have this very crucial third round. If I remember correctly, Danny has not dropped a game all tournament long here, but Van Swarm starting off pretty strong, threatening to take away El Maza's first game, but the DP's going to stop the mix-up, and now we got the corner pressure. Come at him, Danny.
And Danny's strike throw is crazy, because I never know when Danny's going for the throw, but going to confirm right into the Sacred Edge. Low HP here for Van Swarm. Does have full bar burst on deck, but the 5D FRC 2D, the Strive Classic right there.
Call that the zoomer check. If your reactions are quick enough to see the dust, well, then the fast cancel in the low is going to catch you standing. Danny's going to keep that undefeated streak as he takes the first game, and we're already seeing him being very aggressive with these DPs. I feel like it is one of the core components of his defense is how good he is at actively switching up between his options, between passively defending and finding the perfect moment for a reversal. Shimmy's not going to work, but Danny still gets a hit. Van Swarm's going to burst to keep Danny in this corner. Artemis is going to get a punish and a stagger. Not much more than that. What a 6B from Danny to relieve this offense.
Bust right through the Artemis. Bust right through the Capel. Close slash anti-airs. The other Capel coming out from Van Swarm. These Milia players, they change Capel, but they still all use it the same. They're just flying at you. Very hard to deal with, but Danny, he knows his stuff. He knows his stuff, showing that right now. Doing very well, taking that first round here. Game number 2. Nice IB and immediate punish. Danny is here to play today.
I think he is demonstrating his knowledge of this Milia matchup, and as well as his own execution. Blocks the other side swap, immediately DPs. Van Swarm really hasn't been able to check any of these reversals from Danny.
And the big, heavy Sacred Edge combo. Danny with the big damage and confirms. Van Swarm does have a little bit of meter on deck. Not over quite just yet. The Milia Vortex is coming. Yep, here it is. Oh, my God.
The delay there, but we put ourselves into the corner, and now Danny with that burst is going to be able to run offense, deflect shield, get off of me. The Fooder Arc, though, contests Van Swarm's opportunity to try and escape. Ride the lightning, canceled early to add in a couple of more hits to guarantee the kill. Danny up with a quick 2-0 lead.
Yeah, man, that may have killed at one point in time in the Guilty Gear Strive lifeline, but unfortunately that Ride the Lightning, not the most damaging super. And Danny realizing that and immediately adapting, spending that little bit of extra meter to guarantee it. But here we are, 2-0 for Danny right now. Let's see if Vanstorm can bring it back in.
Okay, and now we're seeing Vanstorm's going for throw setups instead. The DP again, though, from Danny as Vanstorm trying to add in extra layers, but Danny says, listen, you can't surprise me. Oh! Nah, son, nah.
The burst baiter, Danny? That was a sick burst bait. Wonderful pressure here. Got Vanstorm in the corner. Nice fuzzy guard. Escapes the 5D.
Good dash.
Yep.
Able to take the turn back. Side swap, good defense. Again, the DPs. Vanstorm just not checking any of these. He's eating like every single one. We're up to like, what, the double digits?
Yeah. What? It's definitely been a lot. Kai does have that big jellyfish DP, which is really good at catching Millie in the air. So Danny using it to great effect, like you were saying, but looking at match point right here, Vanstorm, we got to lock in. Ooh.
Again, just like I need to see Vanstorm the one time because Danny, I don't think, has had to go through any other layer besides, let me just send the reversal if you give me a gap. He's going to go on a little bit on the patient play right here. Capel catches Danny. Go for the setup again. YRC get off of me. So Danny varying up the options, keeping himself a bit unpredictable.
And that delayed far slash catching Vanstorm's back dash. Fudarark almost taking his life, but manages to stay alive for now. Trying to get some control on the ground, but Danny far slash. It's the best Kai far slash ever because it's Danny. Oh my God, and that's going to do it. 3-0. Still has not dropped a set in this tournament, Vanstorm. We'll be seeing them again in the loser side, so it's not quite over. The story is not fully written yet.
Dios mío, el padre visitate has por juega. If I can do a bit of my gringo Spanish.
That's pretty
easy
good.
to play. No, muchas gracias. Like the accent is like, necesito más practicar. It's simple.
Hey, it sounds better than mine. You don't want to hear my Spanish. It is crusty. Unless I'm screaming it. Then, like, it's a little different.
Man said, let me scream
I
in
could put
Spanish.
some verbato on it,
You can put some of that little verbato. I suck at rolling my R's. It's pretty bad. But
that's all I got.
I need to steady up because, Danny Almaza making a statement, getting into winner's final this tournament without dropping a single game all the way through the bracket, making pretty short mincemeat of Vanstorm as well. Came down to, I think, Vanstorm probably tried to go for like some deeper layer, like Milia mix-ups that weren't really true because so many DPs were able to bait it on out.
Right.
So instead of keeping it tight and safe, because that Danny's going to be aware of that matchup. He's going to be fighting some of the best Milia players that you can find in those online tournaments we talked about. So you can't surprise him, I think. And this is a guy who always shows up and comes to play. And I can't really think of a tournament where he isn't at that level. Like, he is so consistent when he shows up to play. It's
Absolutely, yeah. Danny, just a seasoned veteran, a seasoned Kai veteran. He's been doing it for so long. This game's been out there forever, and he's been on Kai for forever. Literally, as long as I've known, Danny is synonymous with Kai. You know what I'm saying? It's like two peas in the same pod.
Right.
For sure. And he knows his stuff really well. Even with the changes, he was hitting me with TK DP combos. I was like, all right, bro, you got it, bro. You got it, bro. Sometimes you got to let it go. But
he's evolved with the character as well, so it's really good to see that iconic pairing that we had. I've seen him experiment around, playing Dizzy. I think he's played Sin a couple of times. So he's played the Kai family.
I think he played a little bit of Abba, too.
Abba, I can see that.
At one point. But,
that's one thing, too. I think he does it to kind of like understand, okay, what is this character trying to do? So then how do I defeat what they want to do, right?
True top player analysis right there. But the thing about it is, on that other side of winners, we got Walter. Walter has beaten Danny before online, so let's see if we can get an offline conversion, or let's see what's going to happen. That's the story of today.
Right, no more lag Johns.
It just depends on what happens with Frankentank. Frankentank is the true wild card in this bracket.
Yes.
On that buff Potemkin, there he is.
Yeah, there
he
is.
Repping his character.
Repping that AC/DC as well. Some high voltage. Okay, this man is back in black. I see you.
Yeah, Frankentank, a seasoned Potemkin veteran. He told me, I've been doing 6K loops since you were in middle school. And I was like, you're right, bro. And I had to hold that. But that was back in Exert when Potemkin wasn't bad. Now he's the big bad.
Quite true, right? And we'll remember last year's Texas Showdown was won by Snake Eyes on that Potemkin as well. And so now, Frankentank kind of carrying on that spirit of it, but in the meta where Potemkin is one of the big threats with all the changes that he got. He got his car cancels back with all these new properties on his armor, like the Popbuster being armored as well. We were able to see Frankentank qualify off of in Popbuster that armored through, I think it was Flare G's chip, mashing against it, caught him, blew him up, right into immediately Heaven Buster. Like, all right, Punch your
over.
ticket to top 8.
Yeah, GG's.
Yeah, GG. Shake my papas.
But, Flare G, Frankentank, and Vance Worm all hailing from Houston. So this is the Houston Guilty Gear scene coming out in full force this year at Texas Showdown.
Yeah, they'd have experience fighting each other in the Space City Beatdowns, right?
Yep.
One of the locals that's out here in Houston, one of our featured locals, actually, of the Texas Showdown event as well. But we're going to be featuring our next winner semifinal match as we get into it. Walter going to the Milia, actually. This is the first time I've been able to see him play this character in bracket all weekend, and it was all chip yesterday in top 24.
Yeah, I actually crashed with Walter. We booked a group Airbnb together, and he told me that he would try out the Milia to see what happens, and if he loses game 1, he swaps the ship. He loves both the characters. Milia is obviously his wife, so at the end of the day, he's most comfortable on Milia, but Chip is just so sick, and Walter would say the same exact thing on his stream. Shout out to Walter, one of the best Strive streamers in the game right now. Such a funny, positive personality in a space where a lot of people. I'm not going to talk about the other people. I'm just going to talk about how good Walter is.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at this. Working on nearly a perfect. Just a little bit of chip damage from some of the interactions. It's Frankentank gets caught whiffing a slide head. So now we're going to start this round. Walter playing very passively. After all, we're talking about a Kara Potemkin Buster that's armored in this patch. You just don't engage Potemkin round start. Yeah,
Walter is one of those Milias who's really good at utilizing movement just to make you want to chase her. And once you chase Milia, you're playing Walter's game instantaneously. But Frankentank finds a really good 2D, goes into the Hammerfall PRC. The delayed 2K from Walter actually catching that PRC cancel, and we're going to get a corner here. Not going to break the wall just yet, I don't believe.
Especially when Frankentank invests in the burst, finding that burst save opportunity, but Walter's going to get the far slash confirmed into the cart. Set up the mix with Tano top. Just as I thought, we were able to get through layer 1, layer 2 strikes. Blue RC, fast, bad boon overhead, and with the slowdown, we still get a full pickup here. Walter putting on a clinic with this Milia.
Yep, utilizing that JS, realizing the wall stick, and adapting accordingly. Frankentank with 50 meter, though. I'm scared.
Yeah, that's why we see Walter backdash on that first interaction, recognizing that Frankentank would use the PRC to recover out of that Potemkin Buster, keeping himself safe, but Walter anticipated, was able to clean up house. It's a pretty smooth game for Walter in number 1, so
let's see what happens here in this game 2. Oh, nice counter far slash that started off for Walter.
Making it a 5K, that was pretty smooth.
Yep. That's what Elliot does. Ooh, 6H, meaty? That's how we're feeling today?
I guess so. Oh, capture in the air, but we don't get the 2S confirm, and so now we take the meaty air car.
Oh, and the hair car is so meaty that Walter gets a crazy FRC into the low, catching Frankentank a little off guard. But here it is, Potemkin pressure. Ooh, managing the fuzzy guard out, that was crazy.
That pretty much was. I mean, you saw the jump came through when Frankentank left a big enough gap. The first punch was blocked cleanly as well, so Walter pretty much in control. We get deflect shielded into the corner. Air thrown comes through, Frankentank.
Legacy player air throw. Oh, goes for the 6K pop bust.
He tackled to keep up the pressure. And yeah, burst. Walter is forced to burst, so this will be big. If Frankentank will have that resource stripped from Walter for the next round, regardless of the outcome. PRC, red RC rather.
Oh, a nice empty jump low, catching Frank in the air, and gets the throw. One more guess here for Frankentank in the same side high. He crossed you up just to cross you back up and go to the same side. And now Walter looking to take this second game. Frankentank, nice 2D though to start it off.
Oh, and now we're going for the pop busters without the backup of that 50% tension gauge as well to make sure that if we do whiff it, we are safe. Deflection's going to get blown up by the tandem top, and so Walter able to carry Frankentank all the way to the core. And one thing I do want to highlight too, this is what happens when Milia doesn't really have to worry about a reversal, right? We saw Danielle Mel's completely shut out Vance Swarm previously with so many Vapor Thrusts, but Potemkin doesn't have a reversal like that, so Walter can just do whatever he wants in these setups and say, block this Frankentank, you won't.
Nice punish right there on the Hammerfall, immediately into the super. You are not bursting because I said so. Oh wait, he's still alive, 1 HP Potemkin. Everything to gain and nothing to lose here for Frankentank. Does have the 50 bar. Water, got to play a little careful.
Yeah, we whiff. No punish there. Walter just playing it slow until he can get the opportunity. Big mega fist to jump over Walter. PRC.
He knuckle maybe. Oh, he tackle. Get the plus frames. Oh my God.
That looked like a pop buster that was flubbing in, but it doesn't matter. The Frankentank gets the next hit.
Big
Garuda.
Garuda
And finally!
the buster.
Potemkin players want one thing, and it is disgusting.
Oh, Frankentank putting up his hands there like, what else was I supposed to do, man?
What do, man? I just want to grab him one time, and now Frankentank going to be able to force Walter to burst very early on in this final round. Has a resource advantage, calls out the Artemis with another back Mega Fist, so he's getting a good read for when Walter wants to go for certain pressure options. He's getting a read on the mix-ups that Frankentank is struggling with. Deflect Shield just option select, able to block the Capel. 5P's going to whiff. Walter, empty low.
Nice mixes here. I can't even tell. He's on the cross up at same side high. Oh, nice backdash though for Frankentank, avoiding that cross up. Yeah, the DS. I mean, Potemkin health, he gets it so often. Makes sense to spend it on boost.
Oh, but you get the initial iframes, and once you're out of it, Top is there to media there, so Frankentank at these desperation plays just not able to escape. So many overheads, finally cracking the tall dome piece.
You block Capel in the corner after Milia does an aerial. It's like, all right, bro, let me just hold the rest of this 50 million sequence block string. But 2-0 right now for Walter, staring down the barrel of Winners Finals, a meetup with Danny Almaza. But first, you got to get this third game. And Frankentank, no stranger to being down, but with this Potemkin, he's down, but definitely not out.
And so far, the Texas representatives in this top 8 of Strive have yet to take a game from the online invaders, if you will. Let's see if Frankentank can change.
Oh, Walter's from Texas too.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's Corpus.
Corpus Christi, yeah, but he's not Houston.
No, not Houston.
Here you go, I can spin it to Houston players. Because I know y'all got them different regions out here. A city might as well be its own country for Texas.
Oh, JD tried to get the punish, but it's so awkward to punish that butt slam from Potemkin. Nice Garuda. Guard assault. Oh, yeah.
And fall, the PRC again. No fussy match from Walter this time around.
Yeah. It's not that.
Oh! Yeah, I'd do it too if I had an armor.
On block?
It's armored now, man. Why not?
Nice match from Walter. Gets the Artemis counter hit, hard knockdown, and the cross up is good.
Saw a reversal.
Frankentank down. Walter looking at set point here, looking to go to Winners Finals.
Trying to find the next hit, slide head. Not going to find its mark just yet. Capel will get Walter some pressure. Good defense from Frankentank so far. Neither side really getting the full hit. Oh. There it is, okay. Oh, but we advance forward. Walter ready to whiff punish that. Far slash will get a counter hit. So some momentum for him now. Not going to go for the wall break, and so we want to keep the corner. Capel for the meaty, catching Frankentank. And we just set up for the wall slip as well. Steal the corner. Keeping Frankentank in this big body blender.
Ooh, the turbo fall mix. Ooh, he crossed him up. Ooh, double super. And that's going to do it. 3-0 for Walter. No pop-off, no nothing. He's stoic, bro. He's stoic. I know. He feels nothing because DM Danny is waiting for him.
Yeah,
Danny Almaza.
You won the right to take on Danny in Winners Final, and that's where I think for both those players, the real tournament begins. The matchup that we've seen countless times online finally happening in an offline setting on one of the big stages that you can find in the United States. I am so excited to see that, but we got plenty more of loser side to get through first as we now make our way down to see our first pair of eliminations in this top 8 for Guilty Gear Strive at Texas Showdown. We do have the pairings of Haruko and Koma. Oh, we started that.
Yeah, Haruko,
the run
Kermit,
back.
Yes.
Oh, the run back.
Colorado for you special. Kermit used to be Texas, but now hailing from the West Coast, a.k.a. California. Having a great time out there. Yeah, found a career, finished school. You know how it is.
Okay, I follow that.
We growing up out here.
Yeah, I do know that he visited Oklahoma as well. He's the reigning champion of King of the Sticks, which is part of the Heartland TKO circuit that's just recently been announced and put into development. So it's the Heartland of the United States, if you will. Circuit lead here, but it's actually going to be incredibly sick. A matchup that happened to determine who moved on to Grand Finals Winner Showdown, happening in the first round of losers of top 8. And I mean, Haruko has got to be thinking about that matchup. Would love to take her revenge on Kermit. Meanwhile, you do have Rayplay taking on Flare G in the other half of the bracket. Flare G, the quote-unquote new talent, as we've been memeing all around.
I mean, like, that used to be the joke, but Flare hasn't really played much of Tightrope Chip, so what me and Walter have been calling him this weekend, the ropeless chip, bruh. He's winning off fundies, bruh. This dude's playing last
Y'all
pack,
say that? Like the first
two winning,
seconds
bro.
of a match I commentated him, I saw a rope coming out, I'm like, that's a rope, man.
Yeah,
what y'all talking about? It's pretty funny.
Yeah, but you gotta watch Marvello and compare just
how much rope is in.
There's just
I can see that.
There's conversions that Flare is still picking up.
Learning.
We actually spent an hour yesterday labbing, and I was educating him on the new rope stuff, and he was showing me some things as well. My chip brethren, Flare G.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, like, because I looked into all the Star GG accounts, and I'm like, okay, there's no way like this is his like actual account because there's no data on it. There's like no tournament history. Like, did he change the name? Did they add a guest account instead of like his main account by mistake? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, Flare just hasn't really been entering much. They grew up a little. They got a job. Life got in the way, and also season 3 of Strive happened, which was very polarizing for a lot of people.
Quite true. Quite true. As many seasons for fighting games are, right, when the developer takes a risk and rebalances some of the game system mechanics, introduces things, you're going to alienate some of the players who prefer the old system, trying to bring in new players with the new system. But, fighting game discourse, what can you do?
Right, exactly. But we're about to get into it. Haruko versus Kermit. Johnny versus Viking.
Now, I know that our winner semis so far were pretty much blowouts in terms of the score line, but I think this is going to be our first real competitive set of top 8, unless one of these two players has done enough thinking and homework on the other after their encounter just a little over a month ago.
We will see.
Yeah, I think it went to all 5 games in that losers final. Kermit was able to clutch it out at the end of it.
Kermit taking a moment, taking a deep breath, locking in, turning up the composure meter.
You can see some of my Colorado crew in the crowd as well. Go Techie watching. His training partner Haruko up on that stage. Now here we go. Johnny from Haruko. Viking from Kermit. A duel of samurai.
Samurai pirate. And it's like the same thing, but one's in an ocean boat.
Yeah, true, right?
A ship. That's what it is. Anyways, back into it. Kermit with a very strong start. Nice block on the cross-up from Haruko, but another Yozansen for your troubles. It's Viking. Just a high-low dispenser. Nice Tatami into the grab. Very hard to deal with. Kermit starting it with crazy offense. And taking that first round.
Yeah, no, I think there's going to be a little bit of data collection coming in through Haruko. And I mean, this matchup is very much a who gets the first hit, who gets the first set of knockdowns. Viking does have the advantage of having the Haragi parry to call out some of Johnny's strikes when it comes to his mix-ups. But it all depends on Kermit's timing as well as what options Haruko chooses to go for. She goes for an early throw before she gets the meter. Might have calculated that she would have had it in time. Kermit with a pretty sneaky little side switch there. Nice YRC just in time to deny the high-low. Low slash catches Kermit holding north, I think. There's Haragi to deny Haruko.
Yeah, good old Viking parry coming out just when Kermit needed the most. The tether's up, so it's quite a tricky situation defensively for Haruko here. And another Yozansen. You just have to guess.
Just have to guess. Haruko was holding north until the Zansen came out. Finally held down. Got caught by that high, so it's a pretty easy game 1 to Kermit. But pretty much all the interactions went his way. We didn't really get to see Haruko streamline her offense. She gets the first interaction here. Goes in. And I think that a lot of her pressure might not be as tight as you expect from a Johnny player, just to try and frame trap and call out these Haragis. And then we see the frame trap from Haruko. The dash in there.
All right, you got the 50 meter on deck, so I'm wondering when's the overhead misfinder coming. Trying to catch Kermit in the air, but a double jump JH spells doom for Haruko. Has to burst the Escabari. That's going to break the wall, though. Not enough to kill quite yet, but hard knockdown positive bonus. Not a bad place to be, especially when you're Johnny.
Yeah, and in that initial scramble, too, Haruko went with a slower option, going for that jump heavy instead of immediately pressing a button. Anticipating Kermit going for that fast Haragi parry option. She's able to get the whiff punish on it. It's around to Haruko. 6B round start. Going to beat out the far slash from Kermit. Think about the card, get the throw. Yeah, welcome to Johnny set play.
Oh, gets another card set up. Kermit trying to evade the situation, but Haruko locking Kermit down. The back throw incident, though, ladies and gentlemen. This could spell doom for Haruko, especially with that tether that Viking gets off the grab.
Yeah, Kermit able to anticipate the air normal from Haruko. Sets up the tether. We go for the throw, and it's a full charge dust to punish it.
Not only the full charge dust, but it's a full charge dust with tether. With tether. And Kermit closing out that round. Fighting back in this game, too, trying to take it to one apiece. Haruko may have something to say about that. I've seen the adaptation coming in.
Nagash gets caught by the close slash. Kermit in a really good spot.
Yeah, these Escobaris are
the throw.
Putting in the work against Haruko, and that's going to be a full conversion because she has that tether.
She made a guess that Kermit was going to go for a high-low mix. Instead, he goes for the throw, and so Haruko investing in resources.
You got the flex shield on deck, catches the mash, so much bar. The burst
the
gets
burst, yeah.
faded off the JS.
Kermit incredibly composed.
Yeah. Now up 2.
Okay. It's a new day, a new tournament. It seems like Kermit's done the most meditation on their previous encounter. Haruko just making a couple wrong guesses in a row. Hasn't been able to really win many of these scramble situations. Now they're, we're not at home turf anymore. We're out here at another state. We're on the same crowd backing that we did before. Kermit, probably more than used to this.
Absolutely, and look at this big conversion, gonna bless the glass. Need that positive bonus. No hard knockdown, but has so much meter. Haruko electing to slide forward, and Kermit just RPSing with parry. Has so many resources to work with, it just makes sense to sometimes send it, especially when you're a seasoned Viking player like Kermit. Ooh, Escabari yet again. Kermit finding these in the pressure. Haruko really struggling to counter this pressure from Kermit.
Yes, indeed. I mean, so much of it is based on that slash Kabari. Again, going for that bell to force Haruko into this plus unblock situation where Giant doesn't have a DP to RPS with. So, meanwhile, Viking, again, with that Haragi, able to just maintain offense, go for the blue RC.
Yeah, immediately into far slash. Haruko respecting. The gun is out. I'm a little scared. Nice jump out. Evades it this time.
But is an adjustment made too late? We go for the dash forward. Kermit sees the misfire, empty cancel. Gets a close slash, and it's a 50-50. Kermit cleans house, sends Haruko home at 7th place with a 3-0. Colorado eliminated from the top 8 of Texas Showdown. Little anticlimactic in some ways, but again, I think a lot of it is like Kermit probably visited the Johnny matchup, might have studied some of the footage and prepared for that one. And also, I don't really think Haruko kind of brought her A game in today. It kind of felt like, right?
It could be nerves. This is a big stage. We can hear the MK crowd right now going insane.
True.
It is not quiet in this venue, and it's sometimes like, I don't know, man. It's just not your day, Like, that's kind of how I felt yesterday, but, it is what it is. All you got to do is use that salt to season your next victory. That's really what it is.
Yeah, quite true. And I feel like for someone who's as momentum heavy as Haruko, right? I think she found her momentum yesterday with that loser's run to get into the top 8, but then that potentially got reset with the daybreak that we have between the top 24 and the top 8 that happened today. And sometimes someone else is just a better player on that day. Josta Kermit proving why he's a consistent, high-level talent out there. Haruko, though, able to go home with a medal from Texas Showdown. Certainly something to be proud of and a great performance. After all, we had a field of over 80 people for this bracket.
I think it was like 83.
83, yeah. So top 10%, you got a medal, girl. Ready to represent the state. Still proud of you, girl. So now we're going to go on to our next match. It's going to be Flair G.
And...
See, I'm joking the name.
Ray play, bro.
Thank you, Ray
I got you, bro. I
know you do, right?
So we got Milia versus Chip. Flair, pretty experienced in the Milia matchup, coming up with Van Swarm. Them both being from Houston, I'm certain they've played a lot. Have a lot of Milia experience. Milia is a little different this patch. She has some new, really messed up things. Like, there's like a new JD that's unfuzzy. Like, you can't high-low fuzzy it.
Oh, yeah.
Because the JD hits the same frame that the low would hit.
I gotcha.
Yeah, so they changed up her JD and how that works. And great Milias. I don't know if it was Walter or if there's a Japanese Milia, and I'm forgetting their name. If you're out there watching this, I'm so sorry. But I know that Walter was the first person to do it to me, and I was like, bro, what is this, bro? It's so good. So we'll see what Ray Play has to offer. Definitely not a slouch. I mean, they're here. They made it to this top 8. They had a hard-fought victory, and I believe they had to beat I can take a look at this little top.
Yeah. Pull up that bracket real quick. See if this is a button check, or we're going to be jumping right into everything. Hope you all have been enjoying Texas Showdown. Big shout-outs to all of our sponsors, of course. You can see various logos down there, like Post Oak Ice House, Jazzy Circuit, SNK, Split Frame.
Yeah, Ray Play actually beating Flyat after losing to Walter yesterday in winners. So.
Okay.
Walter was on that chip, so let's see how familiar it is. Walter's chip also is, at this point, it's one of the best current active chips that are competing. True. So, Flair might be a little rusty, but no slouch for sure. I mean, they've literally been on this stage in this same exact position before. Nothing but familiarity here. He looks out in the crowd. He sees people that he came up with. And he's just happy to be here at the end of the day. The ropeless chip.
Okay. Pretty much only Texas representatives left in this top 8 except for Daniel Maza out from Mexico. So Texas Showdown very much holding up to its namesake.
You love to see it. We did have a lot of stage showing up, though. Good competition from all around.
Yeah, no, quite so. It's been a really great tournament. Mortal Kombat is having one explosive time, and after all, it is part of the MK1 Pro competition. Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8, of course, they will be playing after this current roster of games. I believe Tekken 8 will be on the main Texas Showdown next, and Street Fighter 6 close up the weekend, right? Or did I got backwards?
I believe so. I think you're right. I haven't checked the competition schedule. Honestly, you know, this was my last block, so this is the last thing I know.
All right, the last thing you got to remember before. All right, now I'm quit. Now I'm done working. But here we go. Get another Millia into this top 8 up against yet another chip. At least a chip potential here. And Flair G was able to qualify into this top 8 coming out of the pools that Marvello was initially seeded into, but with Marvello not attending this weekend, it's kind of opened up like a little power vacuum for Flair G to rise through the ranks. But, you know, again, definitely a player deserving of this position. Here we go. Big counter hit confirmed.
Nice. Gets the counter hit on the 2S. Going to break the wall. Not going to kill it quite just yet, but Flair does have a million meter to play with. BRC forward. DP to catch that 5K. Now Replay's got a block, and the 5D is just too much. The mental stack too real. Flair taking the first round. Even resources, though. Replay definitely has a chance, especially with that round start counter at far slash.
Bell going to catch Flair, trying to jump out. Has to hold this pressure. Blocks the Artemis. Jump slash going to be able to check Flair G. The tandem top as well. This is all Replay's round, and it's Ray's time to play. Yeah, Flair G knocking off for the burst. She says, all right, GG's next round.
Yep. Replay closing that one out, but still has, like you were saying, still has that burst, so let's see what Flair can do with it. Nice whiff punishment to start it off.
Quintessential Chip Gaming and Quintessential Chip mix-up going for same side overhead after we go for that quick alpha bait cancel into the wall run.
Yeah. Showing his stuff, you know. That's been in the game for quite some time. Flair using it to great effect. Dash through to bait the burst.
Foul, Flair. You foul like
that, man. The ropeless Chip is here to play.
I see why he calls himself Flair. That was fire.
Yeah. The G is for gangster.
Fire gangster.
Oh, nice conversion for Flair. Kara into the Bankai to close out that first game. 1-0. The ropeless Chip.
Ropeless Chip, man. You call that Bankai? I mess with that hard. Is that the full name of the super? Or?
I think it's Bankai Masai.
Bankai Masai? Okay, yeah.
Like
so Bankai's literally the name. That's OD. Shout out Clone no Jutsu, Bankai.
Yeah. Screams Bankai in one of the languages. Into game number 2, though, ladies and gentlemen. Chip Millie is a pretty interesting matchup. It's really just a game of cat and mouse, but, you know, the table can turn at either time. Either one of these players could be the cat or the mouse. Lydia a little hard for Chip to catch, but once Chip does catch her, he can blow her up if he gets the right hits.
Yeah. Replay goes for that low. Artemis with the stagger, resetting into a throw. Flair guessing around here. Guesses wrong.
That cross-up after the heavy disc is so hard to deal with, especially when Replay steals the little crevasse in the corner, that little tiny corner steal. You know, Millie players love doing it to you, but here we are. Set play, nice block on the same side high. Flair starting some pressure of their own, but immediate 6-speed.
Oh, super clean, actually calling out the right option that Flair G was representing. Goes for some stagger pressure here. The overhead slowly delayed, just adding on a Replay's mental stack.
Sending it with no meter just to let you know, hey, I can do this. I can do this.
And the fast cancel as well.
Oh, the rope. He busted. Oh, no, he busted the ropeless Chip. It was a reset. It was a reset.
He did not finish Clown University.
6K? This guy is playing Season 3. Oh, conversions, you're dead. That's the 5H loop. Patented Flair G tech. I've seen it on his Twitter. 2 years ago.
And we've seen it here on the stage. Replay getting the initial hit, but then slowing down. Almost looks like they were baiting a burst that wasn't available yet, but here we go. Nixon to throw. Catch the backdash this time. I threw you twice, so I think I'm nice. Catch him moving and blinking on the third attempt.
Oh, nice.
Go. Oh, you almost had a burst.
I thought the burst bait. I was about to scream. All right, there we go. Alpha Blade setup for the cross-up. Flair utilizing some tricky little mix-ups. It's very hard to block this. Hard to tell what side you're on when you can't really see your character. And the YRC's baited, but too high to get a real punish. The 2S just a little too slow, and Replay manages to get out the corner.
Beautiful backdash to call out the throw from Replay, but the combo fails the jump dust, getting Replay to recover just in time before the Alpha Blade was able to connect. We go for the fast cancel into the throw. Hold this mix-up. Replay won't find any sort of interference as he gets to the round of closure there, stealing the corner. now we're all tied up one apiece. Sloth.
Yep, Replay using that turbo fall to catch Flair in that last mix. If you're holding down back, you're praying, please don't cross me up. Emilia will always find a way.
Life finds a way. It's our first time going into a set in this top 8 that hasn't been a 3-0, so.
True. Exciting stuff for both these players right here. Camouflage, Flair cranking up that wrist. Artemis to try to escape the corner from Replay. Oh, the big counter hit. That should break the wall, unless we go for the same side. Yep. Flair trying to get a wall slump going. Just keeping the pressure up. Replay, no burst to play with, so you're in the Flair zone.
Yep. Oh, what a mash, though. Calling out a little bit of a gap right there, so Replay gets a turn to play. Another throw here as well. Welcome to my set play now, Flair. How do you like it?
Good blocks on the cross-up. Flair ready for it this time. Oh, ready for the FRC cancel into the high. Saw that 50 bar, knew the mix-up was coming. There's the leaf grab. A little bit of cheese. Hey, are you awake? Here's a leaf throw. Here's an alpha blade. Replay down around here. Flair looking to take it to 2 potentially.
Mixing like a true ninja, hiding in the leaves. And now Replay, as burst available, could go for red waddle so that he gets the pick up here. But it wasn't really where he wanted to be. And there it is. The red waddle so should be able to put Replay into the corner.
Mix, yeah. Good block on the crosses there from Replay, recognizing that Chip does not want to be in the corner after getting that weird little knockdown.
Yeah. Plus, Flair would love to force the wall break and positive bonus going, so just understanding and making the correct read and to steal the corner. Yeah,
that turbo fall has been freeing Flair up, and I believe Replay sort of adapting to that and starting to abuse it. Nice DP on the same side low.
YRC, get off of me. 6K plus on block as Replay chooses to mash against it.
Oh, and 2K catching the backdash. Flair has so many resources, has Replay in the corner. Got to figure out how to get Milia back down, and a nice air-to-air. Can't find the conversion, but the deflect shield, he was too close.
Too close for it to really matter. Ain't like a Dragon Ball fighter. Deflect the air throw as well. That is my ninja way. He got too fancy with it, but doesn't matter. The 6K catches a backdash attempt. We recover from the scramble, and thus, Flair G will take a 1-game lead in this loser's top 8.
We're about to get into it already. Replay not even taking a second, wants to get in. His hands are feeling a little warm, and the round starts looking real good for him. Oh, the JP. I wonder what that was.
With a burst bait attempt. Flair G wanting to eat his cake.
Nice conversion with the Gamma Blade. Not using the Alpha Blade because he doesn't want to get bursted into the corner. Smart stuff from Flair G. Great decision making here, and that's a safe jump.
Yep, so Replay. We're all kind of questioning. We get the close slash starter. Drop the combo, however. That was one of the changes that Chip has suffered. Some of the blow back has been adjusted. Various parts of his kit. So some of those routes that you're used to being clean and consistent in the mid-screen, they don't really work the way they used to. It's a little more reliant on the tightrope. Okay.
Some stuff you don't get to see too often. The 100-bar throw combo into the Bankai. Flair vibing out. He's got the tunes cranked. My man's mixing on it. I know that feeling, bro.
What a 5K as well to check. Dash up from Replay. Now Flair G sitting here at set point. Could be getting one of these Milia players that's infesting this top 8 out of bracket.
Oh, nice dash away. Knew that Replay wanted the corner, and Flair gets the optimal screen positioning, takes control of the center.
Nice beta blade again. We're seeing Flair G represent that option more and more as the set goes on. We saw it was super effective for Daniel Maza, so it's good to see that other players are also utilizing it against the Milia set play. J2K leads to a full combo here.
Oh, the cross-up! Oh, he was ready for it. That's a cheesy setup from Flair. Looking to see if Ray plays awake, and yeah, he's here to play for sure. Gets the wall break. Down but not out. Flair does have burst, and I bet if he gets hit, he will be spending it, but that 5P might spell your doom.
Jump air confirms. And again, it looked like he was going for the jump to bait that burst. Patient play here.
Yep.
Wow, man, really full scented.
Are we bursting? No, okay.
We're not. I can respect that one, right? I mean, it's like the high-risk play. It's like, do I end the set now? Do I risk losing the next interaction? And then I got to play this final round without burst? Flair G making the long-term professional decision here by holding on to this burst to make sure that whatever hit he gets, whatever opportunity he needs to get out of jail for free, he's got the burst gauge in the bag on his side. Bankai comes through.
And you know that Gamma Blade's plus, but Flair immediately threw after Gamma Blade, and Replay was like, all right, I'm going to mash on the next one, and the 5K was waiting for him on the other side of that clone. Flair, huge advantage here. Replay trying to escape the corner. Nice delay capital to catch Flair, trying to anti-air. Ooh!
Deflect this shield. Nah, man, you can't deflect throws. Alpha Blade cross up, not able to get the full confirm. Replay got one more chance to stay in this top 8.
Oh, just 2K2D, wait and see. Nice stuff from Replay, keeping the pressure up, trying to find one-hit Millia with a skittle of health, but the good old Chip Dipper, Chip Dipper, he had the 50 bar, and Flair takes it 3-1 over Replay. Honestly, great showing from both players. Flair just really able to control the neutral super well against Millia, which is a little difficult in the matchup, I'd say, but you know, Flair, he's different. He's here on the stage, I'm here on the booth, man. Maybe I should just, you know.
Well, I'm glad you're up here with me, man. This is a great way to end my Texas Showdown weekend. And I mean, like, we saw that even though that Replay was able to get some momentum in the final couple moments of that last round, that he had so little health that he continually was backing off, because we saw how aggressive Flair G was in the previous round, going for a DP time and time again. So he thought, yo, DP kills me. If I can bait it, though, I might be able to keep myself alive in here. But Flair G was able to rely on the implied threat of that option that he represented to make sure that Replay never felt comfortable to actually try and force his way back into a wing position in that final round. And thus, we see our current standings in this top 8. Danny, Elmaza, and Walter will be showing down in winner's final here. Meanwhile, Frankentank and Kermit will be our next match of losers quarterfinals that we will see. So we will see Biken versus Potemkin, and then Van Swarm and Flair G will be throwing down. Flair G really running the Millia gauntlet right down there and loses right now.
Bro is in the Millia mines.
Like, yo, man, I get it now. Assassins versus ninjas. I think I saw a TV show about that.
Oh, absolutely. But, you know, hey, we just saw Van Swarm just got a lot of data right there from that set, so I'm wondering how they're feeling about it. I'm sure either way, both these players, you know, at the end of the day, that's your homie. You got to be happy for him, even if you lose. It's okay to be a little salty. But you should be having Frank Kermit up next. Yes, sir. Biken, Potemkin. A polarizing matchup.
Polarizing character.
Yeah.
No, just Biken catching some flack here and there for having the parry. She's in a pretty good state right now.
Yeah, a great state. These buffs are crazy, man. Crosby Zanzan being a vacuum and plus so hard to deal with. Bro.
Yeah, right now. Getting some of those old functions that we saw it have in earlier seasons back is a really huge boon for the character. Haragi being able to be something that you could cancel into from block, deal with that one. It is a little tight on the timing, so it's not a get-out-of-jail-free card. It's a hard read, but something that you have to keep in mind. Not that Frankentank will necessarily mind. He's always threatening a pop buster in the background, so
true.
It's a matchup that Kermit will probably not be as liberal with that option as we kind of see him be with Haruko in that first round of losers top 8. Both sides are doing some button checks real quick. Yeah, the dual gold burst. I swear to God, if we see a round KO in the button check, I'm done with y'all.
Oh, look at the cars! Look at the cars! This dude's gaming, and he's on stick. That's a real Kara. That's a Kara with the capital K at the end of it.
That's your dad's Kara, all right.
Yeah.
We had to learn it on those sticks back in the day. We didn't have this fancy hit boxes, WASD boxes, whatever you want to say. Leverless, the kind of new term that's sort of come up recently to sort of quantify all of those control sticks that don't have sticks.
Stickless.
Yeah, stickless.
The sticklesses.
Stickless. The stickless don't sound right though. Like some little fishy one. You said I'm what now?
But we're going to get into it soon. Yeah, and I think you're right, Mangaka. I don't think we're going to be seeing a lot of parry. That pop buster is so scary. It might just be better to block Potemkin out and pray.
Well, now that actually we might see Kermit use Haragi against the Garuda impacts, because that is a telegraph move, right? So, and it is a strike. No, it's a projectile. It's a projectile right now, so no, never mind that one, because Haragi, I think, just nullifies it, doesn't give a counter situation.
Yeah.
I'm actually not sure how that looks out. Someone in the Twitch chat might have looked at it.
We might see, but...
Yeah, I mean, a read's a read, but definitely not one that Viking player, I think, would actively go for on many, many occasions here. Far Slash will whip punish Frankentank here as Kermit trying to set a precedent just like we saw from Danny and Walter, 3-0 the competition on the way through the top 8 bracket. Good back catch from Frankentank.
Yeah.
Gets under pressure.
Frankentank playing a little defensively here in this corner, just trying to find some screen plays, take some control with those big old H buttons. Does get the butt slam. Here comes the Garuda pressure. And nice hold there from Kermit. Doesn't get counter hit by that 6H or try to backdash out of that pressure.
Yeah, plus on block after that goes Onsen. Good deflect shield there as well. Take a fist into the double jump. Side swap low, catching Kermit holding north. Tap dust. Like a full charge one.
It may have been Frankentank feeling himself a little, perhaps.
Kermit, though, with a good reaction.
Yo.
Oh, there it is. the moment Kermit goes for a Haragi, there comes the Pop Buster. The two options intersecting at the worst possible moment for Kermit to take off the first round.
But you got to be a little careful how you approach Potemkin in the air, because that exact thing can happen. And now you're in the corner. Great parry, though. Escapes the situation. And here comes the tether. Frankentank finding a 5P and getting the hit with the Garuda. Big damage here.
Well, one thing for Frankentank, right, with Potemkin's high damage output, Kermit has to be right so many more times than Frankentank needs to. 6P, immediate burst from Kermit to deny the heat knuckle. That would have been a wall break into a kill. Yeah,
that absolutely would have taken his life, but Kermit finding a way. RCs through the hammer fall. Everything to gain and nothing to lose. And it's on Biken. I'm terrified.
Yeah, nice. We get the throw tether combos as well. We saw that Frankentank use the deflect shield earlier, so this time Kermit's able to call it out. Catching 6B a little too soon. Make a fist spam. I'm tethered to you, girl.
Drew, nice usage of the tether there. Just change up his movement. And, ooh, nice block on the 5Z. That's going to be a punish, but not quite enough just yet. Kermit does get a counter with the Tatami and clutches up in that second round.
Absolutely phenomenal. We can see the players have their headsets in. They're vibing to the game music. I feel like it's a little quiet for me in my own ears, but I'm sure it's all balanced in the stream pretty well. Let's get into it.
Ooh, 6K Buster, the classic. You just got to jump, man. 6K on block. You got to escape. But when you try, the flick is there. You're dead, by the way.
Yeah, you're so dead. Heat knuckle. Tanamine is burning red.
The Aegis Reflector for the perfect for Frankentank. 1-0 right now over Kermit. Kermit immediately getting back into it, not taking a second. He's got the adaptation on deck. Nice hammer fall to start it off the Frankentank. Utilizing that armor just to clear some space and get through Biken bar slash.
Yeah, another dynamic of this matchup I think that's a little tough for Biken, right, is that she does have some great poke. They're all single hits, so that means when Frankentank comes barreling through with any of these armored options like that slide head that we saw right on the...
Hammer fall.
Hammer fall. Yeah, no. Again, I know the names, but I forget what move is what name. Yeah, coming through with that hammer fall we saw earlier, right? Like, not really able to change stuff. Oh, we saw the PRC scouting out that YRC, but committed to an option.
Yeah. Oh, bro. Kind of chilling. The JS trading with the butt slam is crazy, though. Nice blocks on the slide head. Kermit finding a way. Gets a little far slash, but too far to convert as the Biken curse. Pressure here, plus Frey, hammer fall, PRC, nice defense from Kermit. Not falling for the cheap tricks of Potemkin.
Yeah, but Kermit not going to go for a burst bait here, just going to take the round, recognizing that Frankentank will also hold on to that resource for the next round.
Yeah, now he should probably spend it early to get it. He could get it back in this round with all that Potemkin health and a big counter to start it off. Kermit has to burst that close slash. Here we go, Kermit starting up the offense. Another Escabari. He's finding them all today. Double to Tommy pressure. Look at the risk right now for Potemkin. Frankentank finds a way out.
Blue Waddle sold to get in there. Keeping Kermit on this ground, but finally Kermit recognizes when that Pop Buster was going to come through. Nice tech from Frankentank, but there it is, the jump dust. We see Kermit ran that option in neutral a couple times just to check for those jumps. Also scouting for those mega fists that would take Potemkin up into the sky, so scouting finally working. PRC, we see the go burst. Waters with the 2 heavy slash. Kermit in a great spot. The cross of his block. The YRC comes through. Frankentank now running that offense. Goes for another set of jumps. Double jump sequence here again. It's nothing but infinite overheads.
Parry, please. The timing there a little tricky for Kermit, but does get the Escabari counter, and that's going to lead to a full conversion and a round, or, a game conversion. Kermit playing this really well right now. Woke up a little, started playing a little more offensively, realized, wait, I don't have to be that scared of Pod.
Yeah, I know, but we're seeing that Kermit is going for these frame traps, right? We had the RC into that Escabari to get the tether on, but then left a gap for Frankentank to press something and counter it. Frankentank could be taking note of that and saying, yo, what if I just armored Pop Buster instead?
Yes.
Okay, popping off, and something crazy is happening right now.
Oh, and the backdoor incident for Frankentank. Not where you want to be against Potemkin, especially when he takes you into his loving arms.
Oh, baby, one more time. I'm coming back for seconds.
Kermit locked in. You just got to forget about that round. That's a Potemkin round if I've ever seen one before in my life. Nice counter hit. Gonna get the knockdown. Oh, nice, but a parry.
Yeah, Kermit representing an option often enough just to make sure that it's something in the back of Frankentank's mind. We'll reapply the tether with a throw. Get the full pickup here as well. Biken gets a nice combo here. Whatever newer changes.
Yep. Oh!
Backdash. Yo, I'm just like, I always have you stuck to me. You want to hold me? Fine.
Another one.
Hold me.
I thought he baited it.
I thought he baited it.
Oh! Frankentank finding a way. He's up around. He's got nothing to lose but this round.
Slide head. Kabari, 106 speed, no confirm. RC. Go for the
first.
Oh, with the
it's
RC.
baited.
Kermit went for the RC to double check that they got the confirm. Frankentank was kind of option selecting, I think. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I think I blocked high, but if I got hit, immediate burst comes through, but didn't really work. We chase the backdash, we get a round start, Potbuster. Welcome to the zone, Potemkin zone.
And Kermit maybe trying to mash through a Pot Buster there on Wake Up. Unfortunately gets caught, has to spin the burst, and now the health is so low. One here for Frankentank will do it for sure, as long as it's a decent one. Escabari pressure in the Pot Buster to try to break through, but Kermit catching that startup. No armor on the startup.
Fading back, trying to find the next hit. Far slash from Frankentank, the double jumps come through. Deflect shield, but Blue RC gets us right back in here. So sides exchanging different resources. Oh, far slash going to be able to come through. Kermit should be able to with these new corner routes secure this kill.
Oh, no super, just goes for it, and Kermit going 2-1 versus Frankentank right now.
Close set though, our most competitive one of the day, I'd say.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of biking players don't like this matchup. I've heard from other biking players that it's even, so I don't really know where it lies, but I'll be honest, it don't look easy for sure. It looks like you make 2 mistakes, you die, which is pretty much the story of Strive.
Right.
Ooh.
Gas, nice jump again. Frankentank going for these Potemkin busters a little early on. Kermit recognizing that. Tommy will catch the backdash, covering any sort of wake up Frankentank could have threatened.
PRC on that heat tackle to make it safe.
Oh, so far away.
Finding another buster, and the risk is a little cranked, so it's going to do a little extra damage there. Super gets baited, but Super PRC is there for you.
Kermit investing everything, is going to get caught. Bruta impact coming through. We see a counter hit, full pickup. Frankentank with the heavy buster, making sure that Kermit can escape. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the high heavens.
Slamming her back down into the ground and slamming us right into this next round. Frankentank looking to take this to a game 5. Burst on the table for both these players. And a counter hit JS, really good start here for Kermit. Will we see a burst in this corner pressure? Nice backdash throw.
Versus a little later in the sequence here. Goes to the back, makes Mr. Retreat. There's that armored option, right? But we jump again. We see the PRC. We double jump to escape the first 6 speed. The second one will connect. No immediate cancel into Heat Knuckle. It could have been a wall break for Frankentank, but wants to play this slower. He's getting a little handsy here, and Kermit just says, listen, I will always play around the throw.
Nice. TK Ozanson finds the hit. Gonna be big damage. Not quite enough to kill. Pot, one of the highest health, if not the highest health character in the game. That's a big boy right there.
I think he's definitely up there. I think Asuka with the mana is still the highest HP, and then I think it's Bedman right behind him. Bedman or Potemkin?
No. Not Bedman for sure.
No, Bedman's up there now. I know he's one of the tanker.
He's skinny. I think he's skinnier than Goldblum too.
Oh, I did forget about Goldblum.
Yeah.
I had to look at it again.
I can't remember if it's Goldblum or Pop, but either way, here we are. Set point here for Kermit. Has the tether on deck. This has been the story of this whole set. Frankentank hasn't really been able to counter it effectively.
Nice, Aragi.
And the parry, just when you think you're getting your offense started up, bike and parry comes to ruin your day. Ooh, another parry on the back Mega Fist. 1 HP here for Frank.
Another tether for the road, and there it is, the low. So many overheads, and finally we clip the Potemkin at the ankles, and Frankentank has been eliminated at 5th place. No back-to-back Potemkin victories here at Texas Showdown. It's going to be a whole new character this year to welcome in a whole new metagame, but way to represent Houston, a man Frankentank. Kermit advancing on to lose the semifinals to await the winner of our next set.
And I didn't get a chance to talk about this, but shout out to Kermit sponsor New Heads, supporting players. Love to see a grassroots organization come through and sponsor somebody who's very talented, but obviously not afforded a lot of opportunities due to the current ecosystem that we're in.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately. But shout out to New Heads, shout out Vinny.
Thank you so much. It's awesome to see all these names coming up here, getting the support that they need in order to show up to these events, y'all. So be on the lookout for a new up-and-coming rising talent. Paragon, for example, I mentioned them before with their online tournaments. They've been picking up some new players. I know they just acquired Lord Knight, Zane, for Get the Gear Strive and Grand Blue, respectively, of course, and tons of opportunities out there, y'all. So keep on the grind, and maybe someone along the way can help you out. But in the meantime, do what you can. there's plenty of online opportunities in this day and age. It's the beautiful thing about rollback, right? I mean, like I remember back at, I think it was CEO Otaku 22, 23, where Nubenheimer came out to his first offline event after being an online warrior, won that tournament. It's like, that's a storyline that we live in where you can make a name for yourself in the comfort of your own home, and then once you capitalize on it in person, you're able to take that momentum and just run with it. So it's really good to see that even in these trying times, a lot of people, that there is still those ecosystems in place to support. The most important part, I think, of the ecosystem, the players themselves. And that includes everybody, not just like the top 8s, not just like the grand champions, but all of us showing up here and pull up to these brackets, the 0-2ers, the 1-2ers, everybody else who comes out here and plays.
True.
So,
yeah, a bracket wouldn't be a bracket if only the champions entered, you know what I'm saying?
that's an invitation.
Yeah, that's an invitational, but not here, not now. This is a open bracket format. Anybody who wanted to play could have signed up in the allotted time frame, and this is it. This is our top 8. On the other side of losers, Van Swarm on the Millia, Flair on the chip, tried and true. I'm sure these players have played each other a million times, so we might be seeing a level 7 gameplay. So if things get a little weird, don't worry about it. They're playing each other. They're not playing the matchup.
Right, and that's like one interesting dynamic once you get this far into tournaments and you're running into training partners, local buddies, where all of a sudden the game takes on its own identity and it becomes an exercise and expression of that camaraderie and that friendship that you have with someone else, or even that rivalry, right? Because not everybody necessarily gets along all the time. As friendly as the FGC is, of course, sometimes you get people who butt heads.
Oh, yeah,
and you keep
yeah.
it in the game at the very least.
The assault can come through at any time, man.
Oh, absolutely.
I've seen it before, and I'll see it again, that's for sure. We had a little bit this weekend. Maybe we had a lot. I might have missed some from Tekken side, but...
Wasn't it, I think it was Core A Gaming that did a video on FGC Salt, like how to get rid of Salt.
Yes.
I'm thinking, yeah, right.
Did you watch that video?
I did. I did excellent video, right? Because, hearing some of those players say, no, I wouldn't get rid of it for anything. Like, that's my motivating force, right? Get salty so I get better. I love that sort of drive. You need to have that little bit of angry, like, I want to be better than that. I'm better than that. Prove it to you.
Yeah. And I mean, man, like, the possibilities are endless in fighting games as far as player opportunity goes. There's always somebody else to beat, always somebody else to play. So competing is just a wide, expansive journey if you let it be. But you can't let your setbacks hold you back from, just playing. At the end of the day, you just got to keep playing.
Right, and, a lot of it comes down to the paradigm in which you view it, right? If you're focused on the results, well, you're going to be for a bad time because, statistically speaking, you're going to lose most of the games that you play for most of the people in these fighting games. But if you're looking at learning and growing, trying to discover more of the game and trying to grow from it, right, you can find little victories where it's like, hey, I didn't lose that thing I lost to before. We'll get the name swapped in just a moment. It's Flair G on the player 1 side with Chip Van Swarm on the player 2 side with that Millia. Getting started here in our losers quarterfinals to establish our top 4 here at Texas Showdown for Tipping Your Strive.
Oh, nice IB on the 5H from Flair and immediately ready for the punish there on the dash forward, the command dash from Millia. Ooh. Gets a counter hit, can't really convert though. Looking for a throw, we said, and has to burst. Does not want to get thrown into the corner off the auto and miss it.
What a 5P right there. May not be a 3-frame normally anymore. I think it's a 4-framer now, right?
Yeah, it's 4.
But still effective.
Oh, the Zansei buffs. They gave us a reason to do this super. Now watch this sick animation. Flair taking that first round.
Oh, it's so clean.
It's so good.
I love that one of the focuses of this patch was to make supers that you never got to see actually have a use and a function, like the Heavy Mob Cemetery for Soul Bad Guy comboing into that. Oh my god, I needed it.
They realized they paid animators to make those super animations, so now they want to see them in the game. Van Swarm, very strong start in this round 2. Had Flair in the vortex in the corner, unfortunately busted the glass. Now Flair has a little bit of a chance. Nice cross up low. Van Swarm ready to block the cross-up, not ready to protect the toes. Flair does get a throw. Going to be seeing an OTG into the clone. That's a safe clone. You cannot super that.
Oh, and there it is, right? The quick RC cancel for that overhead JD to launch. And thus, Van Swarm is going to take a round. It's final round here in game number 1. Both sides with full burst. Where he gets the initial hit, but not really much of the set play from it. But like we saw earlier, actually, it seems that Van Swarm is also struggling with these overhead bonsai kicks.
Yeah.
As Flair G is representing. Oh my god, the Cabell sniping the Alpha Blade.
Yeah, tried to use the Alpha Blade to cling onto the rope right there, but unfortunately Van Swarm ready for that. Got to be careful how you land on Millia because she does have a best-in-class close slash. and it can smoke Chip, especially for the J2Ks that Flair is doing. It looks like Vance Storm trying to figure it out, but Flair keeps mixing up the timing. He's got you guessing, man. He's got you guessing. Same side as a cross up. Oh, Flair finds a conversion. Not going to super just yet. Not quite enough.
Not quite enough, no. Flair G able to put Vance Storm through the wall.
Oh, finds the JK and the JS conversion in the air. Flair, some of the best air-to-air chip conversions that I've seen personally. I'm studying up on him. He's showing me a lot. The ropeless chip.
Show me the way. In fairness, he's trying to go to the rope, and Vance Storm said, no, you don't do that.
Yeah,
That's not what you're known for. Stop it.
But he could be known for it in the future if he sticks with it. It's good to see him playing again. That's my takeaway here. And honestly, he's so good, it doesn't even matter.
Oh, steal the corner.
Yeah, that was crazy from Vance Storm. Nobody's blocking that one, bro. Nice turbo fall to steal the corner, taking us to our next round. Vance Storm entering back in a big way here in game 2.
Right. 50% meter for Flair.
Oh, tried a 5H. Vance Storm almost finding a whip on it, but totally fine. Still gets the grab. Nice mix-ups. Flair back dashing out the cross-up. Smart stuff.
Recognize the situation, but not reacting to the bad moon overhead in time. Vance Storm to set the next miss. Flair G, so far calling out a lot of these mix-ups correctly.
Yeah, might have been doing a DPS there just to account for the cross-up. Oh, nice staggers on the 5K. Vance Storm looking for a throw, but cannot find Chip's hands. Only finds the Alpha Blades.
Positive bonus now for Flair G. Vance Storm, though, going to get the next hit, and Flair going to invest in this burst. Does not want to give up any momentum. Has to make something happen right here in this round. Resetting into the 5D. Will close out that second round for him. It did cost him a burst, though, so this final round, without that resource, and Vance Storm about to get it back.
Nice counter far slash to start off from Flair. Using the Brekka to push Vance Storm towards that corner where Flair has been winning from. The pressure from Chip is relentless. Nice cross-up JS. Going to get the counter conversion set up into disc. Nice. The fake overhead into the low from Vance Storm. Some mix-ups that I haven't seen.
Okay,
But
Flair
we
G
escape.
has able to escape. Blue RC, we get the whip punish as well. We didn't get close slash, however.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, though. Vance Storm gets a full combo. Okay, I don't know how Flair G blocked that. I had no idea, and Vance Storm gets clipped by that Alpha Blade. We go for the reset. We jump out of that 6K attempt, and the throw is enough. We're tied up in the set, one apiece now.
Yep, and Flair utilizing that Alpha Blade wall bounce to catch Vance Storm trying to dash away, trying to keep him towards that corner. But Flair utilizing that Alpha Blade and unfortunately not able to find the full conversion. Now here we are, game number 3, one apiece. Vance Storm does have burst here, elects not to spend it on that 6H. A little tricky to burst that situation.
And the rope is out, and the rope is denied. Vance Storm says, you don't do that here.
Yeah. Vance Storm so ready when the rope is out to call out any air movement coming out from Flair. Nice hair car is going to break the wall. A little bit of extra damage for you troubles. There's the bad moon. They should do it unless Flair bursts. Vance Storm burst beta?
Possibly so. It did look a little funky, an unusual drop, I would say. And Flair actually going to invest in a hero burst. Does not want to go down to this last round. Gets a big shimmy. And now Vance Storm's got to be thinking, do I burst? Yes, he will. And so Flair G, the investment is paid back at least evenly with the same resources. JK, and like you said before, these air confirms absolutely massive. The same side jump in. You set up, block the low, block the bonsai overhead. We run forward, jump the leaf, grab the compel, not able to punish in time. And so now it's anybody's round.
Oh, nice 2K find from Flair. Catching that whip from Vance Storm, and the throw is going to do it. Flair clutching up in this game 4?
Game
Still
3.
three. I
Counting
lost
time,
count.
man.
I lost count.
Day 3 of the event. We've been doing so much playing, so much commentating. We got memories of goldfish up here. You know, this old timers disease really catching up to me. Anyway.
Oh, JD wall bounce going to lead to a wall break. Has to spend that Bankai. You know Vance Storm's going to get the burst anyway, so you might as well get the hard knockdown, see if you can get that last resource from him. Positive bonus here for Chip. Notably a positive bonus abuser.
Flair G able to use the PRC, but Compel will stop any sort of approach. The 5K mash. With Flair G a turn on offense as Vance Storm pushing this corner. Jump will be denied. Vance Storm has to burst for their life.
Nice 5H catching the landing recovery from Vance Storm. Flair with some great spacing to close out that third game, and now we're at game 5, and he's singing and dancing. My man is locked in to the maximum degree.
All right, great play. Not great play, Vance Storm. Great play is already out of 7th place. Oh, we dodged the tap dust attempt. Vance Storm trying to close this gap in here. looking to be on the right side of this jump out from Flair, holding mid-screen.
Yep, but we're doing fine. Just now, counter hit with the 2K. Cross up, finds the 2S, 2H conversion. Great stuff from Flair. Does have 50 meter here. Vansworm has to be careful. Great escape, and actually flips the tables. And now Flair's the one in the corner, trying to evade the pressure, but the throws are heavy.
Empty low as well, going to catch Artemis to break the wall. Vansworm had full tension gauge, but I guess prefers to play with all of this butter. And look at that, Flair G able to react to the blue RC with a PRC to save himself from the throw whip. But it's going to be Vansworm trying to get something set up. Again, aggressive burst from Flair G. But this time, Vansworm going for the mash OS, right? If you made me block anything, I had a YRC coming through. If you gave me a gap, I could mash on you, force my turn, or get it confirmed from these jabs with the red realm cancel. Closes out that round. Here we go, blue auto assault into a throw.
Yep, nice IB from Flair, pushing Millie away. So important to be able to IB that close slash, especially when it's meaty. But Artemis, man, is it crossing up? I can't tell. The trick is it never does. Oh, Vansworm looking to take us to game 5. Not going to get the conversion just yet, but the corner steal is enough.
Look at that, a pixel away from getting that burst back on chip. Well done there by Vansworm, and now it's our first game 5 situation of this top 8 to see who is going to finalize our top 4 of Texas Showdown. Flair G going for an early burst this time.
Yeah, I didn't want to give Vansworm the great positioning, but what a 6P coming out for Vansworm. Haven't really seen much anti-airs coming through from him, so it's nice that he's still, adapting even this deep in the set. That's only a true champion, you know?
Here we go. Hard knockdown, if it even matters. It's a kill for Vansworm. I forgot I was commentating Chip there for a second.
Hard knockdown into the grave.
Into the grave. The hardest of knockdowns. You're dead. You ain't never getting up.
Flair waking up a little into this game 5. Potential last round of his tournament life. Vansworm, the mix-up is good on the same side high. Same side high, catches Flair again. Ready for it, the Artemis.
Yo, Vansworm hasn't really represented the Artemis mix-up until these last 2 games. And Flair G, you have to clutch up for your life.
Nice, and that air-to-air is a good way to start it off. Does go for the same side high again. Vansworm's ready for that. And the 50 meter on deck, so scary for Flair. Does get the 2S, 2H off for the another reset. Oh,
same side. I agree with it. RC, this could be enough for Flair G. Just needs to get the optimal hit. Yes, 6 heavy slash takes us to final game, final round here of losers quarterfinals.
Both players showing zero emotion right now, both locked into the maximum degree. Have you ever played Guilty Gear with your tournament life on the line? Look at that burst out from Vansworm, getting the offense started.
More than money on the line, more than a placement. There's pride on the line. Damn it, nice DP from Flair G, also representing that option for the first time against these left-right mix-ups of Vansworm. We get the air-to-air as well. This is massive for Flair G. It could be the snowball that leads the avalanche to close the set for him. 6K gets jumped out of. Vansworm, though, not going to get swept up in this tidal wave.
Not going to quite do it just yet, especially if you don't super. No hard knockdown here for Vansworm. Flair has one more chance.
J2K! They trade as well. Flair G can't afford anything. One beautiful J2K. Diablo Boy comes through the same side in the scramble. It is Flair G that finds the final blow. A couple of confirms going sour, and like you pointed out, Sloth, we didn't go for the hard knockdown in that final situation to set up a true mix-up. Instead, we wanted to hold on to the tension gauge for a scramble. We stayed in place and blew our seed, and that led to nothing, and I feel like that probably was the final wrong decision that opened up so many opportunities for it to go in any direction. I wonder if that's going to be hanging on their head for the rest of the night.
Yeah, just one little mistake, man. One mistake can cost you so much in these games that we play, especially in Guilty Gear, notably a high damage game. But good stuff to Vansworm. Got a medal out at 5th. Sometimes it's just not your day, but I'm sure that they will continue playing Strive, continue developing Amelia. I've been seeing the progression. I think that Vansworm's a very good player, and that really could have went anyone's way. Flair just winning the scramble, the Alpha Blade, man. Such a powerful tool in a last-hit situation. And Flair utilizing that to great effect and moving on to loser semis to face Kermit. But first, our title card of the night, Daniel Maza, hailing from Mexico, versus Oni Global's very own Walter, hailing from Corpus Christi.
Oh, this is going to be one hell of a winner's final. We've seen it time and time again in so many online brackets, but this It's finally happening in an offline environment, but that I think is going to have to wait for just a moment because, as is tradition, we are going to take a short little break, y'all. I need to make sure that I am topped off on my water, stretch my legs out, and get locked in because this is it. This is to decide the final placings of the tournament to see who is going to be crowned the Texas Showdown champion and who gets graced with the honor of being a first, second, and third loser, if you will, or if that's your negative attitude, you pessimist. Be optimistic, though. Let's go back to see some awesome Get to Your Stride right after this break. See you then.
A longtime partner of Texas Showdown, we're glad to once again have Arcade Shock as one of our featured partners for this year as the go-to place for your newest lever or leverless build. Be sure to check out the completely customized and very limited Texas Showdown 2025 themed Traveler Arcade Stick. Visit their booth over by the Retro Landing where they're showcasing all the neat features and customization options available. Quantities are limited on site, so don't forget to use code TXS2025 to save 10% on parts and accessories. Valid from March 28th through 31st, 2025.
Yet another great featured partner of Texas Showdown 2025. They offer a wide range of products from various franchises, including Marvel, DC Comics, Transformers, Star Wars, and more. Use their Pile of Loot feature for ultimate flexibility when purchasing and enjoy their $4 flat rate shipping. No minimum, no maximum. Congratulations to Big Bad Toy Store for their 25th anniversary.
Check out our 2025 merch lineup this year for Texas Showdown. Don't miss out on our collab with Spith with our limited run bomber jackets and shirts. You want Nova? Of course you do. We've brought her back due to high demand, and now you could rep her on the go with our new acrylic charm, or even take an iconic print of her home after the event. We're located in the main ballroom this year, next to our featured partners. The Brook Gen SX is the latest fighting game board for all current gen consoles with tournament-ready functionality, OLED display module support, RGB LED input lighting options, and more. Likewise, the FGC2 converter is optimized for all types of PS5 games and PC. It's a must-have for offline tournaments if you don't have a PS5-friendly arcade stick or controller. Both of these products will also be available at the Arcade Shock booth, so don't forget to hit them up if you're here this weekend, and online at arcadeshock.com.
Kansas KO returns for round 3 on August 30th, 2025 at Wichita State University's Beggs Ballroom, featuring 6 mainline games, 3 streams, community tournaments, and more. Don't miss out on Kansas's largest and most electrifying FGC event. Early bird registration ends April 1st. Register today at start.gg/KansasKO.
You can be my warm-up. Come on, let's go! How about this? Coming at you! Pistol shot ya! Blink and you'll miss it! Here we go! Gotta tell ya! Fury of the...
Welcome back, brothers, sisters, and siblings, to the Texas Showdown Top 8 of Guilty Gear Strive for the year 2025. I'm CD Mangaka out from the Akihabara Arcade FGC in Colorado. This is my man Sloth, one of the Texas homies himself, and we've been blessed by showing y'all what's on the line right now. Look at that. Look at it.
Let me center it a little. This was designed by Spiff Space. Giant shout-outs to Spiff Space.
Yo.
If you're looking for some great clothing or some drip accessories, check out spiffspace.com. Designing the medals and merch this year. Just a general graphic designer for the tournament this year. Look at this trophy, and I'll tell you right now, it's very heavy. You want to hold it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the closest I'll ever get to holding one of these is just here up on the commentary desk, as always. Oh, absolutely stunning and gorgeous. That is beautiful. And yeah, you know what? I own a Spiff jacket, actually. I got their Ganondorf Power jacket, the black and white one. Way too clean. I almost want to go back there and buy a second one at their booth that is in the main ballroom right now. But let's pull this back. I want to make sure that people can see it.
Like
Center it.
That's good.
We're designers. Hold on. Let me make sure it's level now. Okay.
Look at that. Professionals. We're professionals.
Professionals, right?
But we're about to get into this winners finals. As you can see from this bracket that our talented production just put up on the screen, we got Danny Elmaza versus Walter in the winners finals. Kai versus Milia, potential chip. I think that Walter's going to stick with Milia. I believe traditionally that's who Walter has played against Danny, and Danny really good at the chip matchup. I wouldn't risk it personally if I had a juicy Milia like Walter's, you know?
No, absolutely. We'll see what Walter is feeling as we go into it. We've seen this match countless times in the online space, but now here it is, I believe, for the first time in person, as this is Danny Elmaza's first major tournament in the United States of America for Guilty Gear Strive. Walter also doesn't really make it out to too many events, if I recall correctly, but it's good to see these two here, and to think that we're all here within 50 feet of each other, duking it out in person. No more online Johns, no more, the connection was whack. The connection is live and in person. Let's get it on. Walter starting off explosively.
Yep, big start there for Walter, gaining the positive bonus, catching Danny. Here we go. Nice far slash, catching the backdash already. Danny extending the pressure. Walter finds a back throw though. Gets the back throw incident. Nice low.
And there it is, right? This is the big difference, right? Walter was able to actually safe jump against that DP from Danny, something that we did not see earlier today when it came to Van Swarm's Milia. And look at that, clean round one over to Walter.
Cheering from the crowd already. Walter taking that first round, trying to defend Texas in whatever way he can. Hailing from Corpus, like we were saying earlier. Nice Artemis for the wall break, takes about 50%.
Yeah, I see all of a sudden, you know, don't matter where from Texas you're from, as long as you're fighting someone who's not from the state.
TX fam is TX fam.
I appreciate the OS.
Nice stuff from Walter. Gonna get the winger for the positive bonus hard knockdown. Danny not really able to find any momentum and crossing up the... Was that crossed up a DP?
I'm pretty sure that had to have been, right?
Yeah.
The dire Claire on wake up is certainly not something that I think Danny would ever rationalize, though.
Yeah.
Man is better than me, could be cooking. And look at this, Walter dealing Danny his first game loss of the entire bracket.
Immediately. Interesting. Interesting. Walter looking very strong right now. And like you said, you know, not a lot of opportunity for Walter to make it out to offline events, but recently picked up by Oni Global, and now they are supporting him as a player and content creator. But we're going to take it into game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Walter starting it off with a far slash, catching Danny's defensive approach, or defensive retreat.
Yeah, here we go. Red Waddle sold twice just to deny Walter burst for as long as possible, investing the full stock of Danny's own. Now we're going to get the wall breaks, so we're going to regenerate just a little over half of it, as well as get that positive bonus for our tension gauge cooking.
Yep, and Walter does find a 2K2D. Nice delay after the JH to look for Danny's Abare. Manages to find it. There's the stun edges. Getting that shock state, but Walter, the neutral's too cracked, man. He just walks in, gets that 6P, cross up with the Capel, can't really get a conversion. Awkward height for Milia. And the CS from Danny, one of the best close slash anti-errors in the game on Kai, if not the best.
I mean, you're kind of looking at like two of the top candidates for that particular accolade with these characters. Milia's being incredibly high reaching. Kai having that vacuum down effect to stabilize for whatever combo route you want to program into it with also really good high reach.
Yep, nice, same side high, keeps it simple, keeps Danny guessing. Walter with the 50 meter, there it is, the hair car FRC. Danny was ready for it, blocks the overhead, but Walter, this pressure is relentless, and Danny is cracking under the weight of this Texas crowd. Not gonna kill just yet, he still did have a pixel on deck, the little tic-tac of health, and Walter kicks it away with his toes.
A little extra P, you know, we're just pressing X to skip the outro real quick, so a button comes on out, like, bam!
Yep.
Stay dead. 2K, catch the backdash with the close slash. Danny gonna wait this one out, and we're seeing that unlike with Van Swarm, where Danny was relentless with the DPs, on these knockdowns from Walter, we really are not seeing Danny go for that same aggressive play after the very first one he tried got checked.
Yep, now Walter with a huge lead here in this second game last round. Danny does find a godlike 2P and gets the conversion. Walter forced to burst, does not want to give Danny the momentum.
Red Wild Soul close the gap. We're trying to catch with that close slash. Walter gets back in, sets up the disc, lays the cross up, catching Danny unawares.
Yes, for game right here. Oh, the overhead actually whipping there. And Walter using the capital escape, but oh my god, the counter hit from Danny. This is going to be big damage, but couldn't fully convert.
You hate to see it there, but Danny trying to get in there, has to FD everything. Less chip kill comes through, and Walter preys on that instinct to block, gets the throw in, takes a quick 2-0 lead on Danny.
Yep, and taking a little sip of that smart water, smart Walter here.
Oh, look at that, you know, Danny, he don't got that smart water, y'all.
Yeah,
is this the narrative we're going to create now?
It could be. But taking it back to characters like Danny, taking a moment to recollect, perhaps change your color, refresh the eyeballs. Oh, we're going to get right back into it, Danny.
Just going to put on the denim guy.
Off the sip of that water. Let's see where he takes it from here in this game 3. Potential, staring down the barrel of a potential 3-0. How does Danny fight back?
Has to spend the burst very early on to deny Walter any bit of momentum here. The 2D leads to a mortal counter hit, so Walter going to take a big chunk of damage, goes for the wall break and the hard knockdown with this super.
Nice swinger there from Walter. Let's see what the pressure is. Probably going to go for a CS right into bad mood. Just wants a little reset.
Another one.
Nice.
Okay, Danny finds the DP. This could be the swing and momentum that he needs, but we'll see. Walter blocking the infinite overheads. Throw comes through. Danny now has the charge stun and set play.
Yep, but now the risk is getting a little cranked up with that Fuder arc, about half a bar, but Walter manages to escape. The Capel movement is second to none. I'm going to say it. This guy is the best Capel user in the world. How is he doing this?
I mean, Danny tried to be in a position right in that middle of the screen to check Walter's escape, but alas, got caught blocking by that Capel and then was counter hit trying to do something. Maybe it was a DP on the wrong side. It was a 6B that just was not able to work due to the block stun. Either way, Walter in a really good spot, about a 3-0 Danny, but can El Padre find the comeback? Great reaction there from Walter. We mash on the run up. We jump over the Artemis, not able to get the punish though, despite an excellent read.
Maybe he had to look for a JS there from Danny. Walter with a huge lead. Turbo falls right in front of Danny's face, and he's ready with that close slash. He's ready. He's got it on deck. Does find the JH. Yep, just like you said. And we're going to be converting into Ride the Lightning. This is going to be a wall break. This is not going to kill.
Big fan of Metallica's earlier work as well. Danny, not a fan of the YRC stopping his pressure. Jump in. What a tech there from Danny. Awake despite getting hit. But the knockdown comes through. Can Danny defend? He will go for that DP, but again, Walter safe jumping.
Nice stuff from Walter. Here comes the mix. Is it same side as the other side? Oh, just misses it.
Stun dipper immediately from Danny, catching Walter, trying to take to the sky, spread those angel hair wings. But alas, Danny, he's not done with this set yet. Both sides nearly even on the burst. We will see that resource fully regenerated before this round is over. Mark my words. Walter getting the set. Play in store. Danny defending, though, until the throw.
Yep, nice IV, but wasn't really ready to follow up on it. And Walter immediately finding a hit. No burst from Danny. No super, keeping the 50 meter. I like it from Walter, knowing that it's not really going to give him too much, especially since Danny's getting burst.
Yep. Throw here again. Danny has to guess correctly. Goes to the DP, bursts immediately. Walter didn't commit to a bait. This will be one hell of a comeback from Danny. Almaza gets caught by the hair. The 6B comes through, and Walter will send Danny to losers. Not only with his first game's loss, but his first complete sweep. And there's the Texas crowd chanting their Corpus Christi hero's name. Okay.
Walter himself moving on in the winner's side with a commanding performance over Danny. The way that he was moving around in neutral when he had that lead man, just, I'm sitting on the left side of the screen, I'm double jumping. Oh, he's approaching. It's Capel time. And Walter has that grin on his face like,
Right.
Great stuff.
Huge thing, right? Like we saw it earlier, and I highlighted it a couple of times now, where when Van Swarm went up against Danny Almaza, Danny was constantly DPing everything, saying, like, listen, man, you got to respect the fact that there's a gap here. I could check you if you're just autopiloting, going for an overhead. And instead, we never saw that from Walter. We saw Walter just hold FD defense to block those DPs and go ahead and lose to yourself.
Yep.
And that urge to check the mix-up, I will make you respect it. Completely different Vortex mind game between those things. And now I'm very curious to see, because I know Danny, he's someone who learns from his losses. He's someone who takes that data and runs with it. And so if he's able to get back into grand finals, I'm very interested to see how that run back against Walter could go. But it's not set in the card just yet. We got to jump down to our losers semifinal game. We're going to be seeing Flair take on Kermit in a Biken versus Chip matchup.
This matchup sucks. I'm just going to say it.
Speaking from the Chip perspective.
Straight up, yes.
Straight up.
I play Chip, so take that how you will. But man, Flair, not a lot of opportunity to make mistakes here against a player of the caliber such as Kermit. Just has those conversions on deck, and you know I've fought their Viking before, and they definitely know the Chip matchup, and they know how to handle rope pretty well. Viking has some tricky things that she can do. You know, she has that JS, which covers a lot of that aerial space, which is where tightrope occupies, along with the Yozansen, which just, hey, I'm covering this section of the screen. But let's see what Flair does, because, you know, he is the ropeless Chip, so maybe that's the secret. Maybe you don't need the rope. Flair proving that to us today here in this top four, looking to change his medal into a bronze if he can take this, or potentially a bronze, you know. Could go even further than that.
Yeah, so we'll see how all this happens. Right now, we got to take on Kermit himself. I'm going to be coming at you. Yo, Johnson, good to see you again, man. I've gone like all day without using that voice. I can barely pull it off myself right now. This throw to mine is hurting. But I know that going out here at 4th place is going to hurt a lot more than that for either one of these players. Flair having a long side losers run. Kermit being sent down yesterday as well to loser's side of that top 24. I'm trying to remember who even sent Kermit down to the losers in the first place. I'm trying to remember the set. I commentated that block.
Was it Minish? Was it a Johnny?
No. Minish was already in losers when Kermit was sent down there.
Was it in top 24?
It was in top 24. I know he was in winner's side and got sent down, and I don't have the bracket on hand immediately. Maybe you can rescue.
Let's take a peruse at this bracket show.
Yeah, help me remember. Y'all have to understand that was the first 2 hours of commentary I did yesterday. They did 4 more hours.
Vance won game 5.
Okay. Vance was already fallen, so Kermit's outplaced the man who sent him to losers in the first place. And it was the Milia matchup for Kermit. And, well, I mean, if you win this one, now you're going to have to fight potentially fight an even better Milia in the future.
I've never seen Biken's intro with this. It's kind of cursed, I'm not going to lie.
That shadow, absolutely dark
a little
on this.
spooky, bro. It's not Halloween.
Samurais and ninjas, let's get it on.
Yep, here we are, game number 1. Flair starting it off early with the throw. Now, Chip does have a few things that can counter Biken's parry, such as Alpha Blade, such as Gamma Blade. But there's the 2 sides of the coin. Flair forced to burst. He's forced to burst. Resets neutral, sets up the tightrope. Elects to slide up on the top, and Kermit does exactly what I said he would. Throws out the JS to cover the space.
Yeah, but now Flair, although able to get Kermit to burst, we go for the wall run. A little awkward, but the J2K makes it all look planned. Yo, okay, we're busting out every layer of mix-up possible known to man. Risk reward be damned.
Going for the 5D because it would have been enough to just kill, but Kermit manages to escape, and the DP after the backdash. Get that too heavy away from me. Flair taking the first round.
A little vibe there, a bobbing of the head as Flair vibing to his own music.
Yep, just a little to Tom.
Oh, that was a curse situation going right behind Flair, catching the startup of that Alpha Blade with a 5B.
Nice conversion here from Kermit. Oh, resets into the Escapari. The BRC JP. Big conversion here for Kermit. Guess for round here for Flair. And the defense is holding strong.
I think Kermit was trying to make sure that Flair wasn't going for a DP. That's why we didn't see a high-low mix. We just kept it a true block string all the way through.
Yep, nice stuff. But the CS finds its mark. No conversion here for Flair, but the parry after the JD, just a little minus on that hit. Kermit, he's just doing it just to check. Maybe it'll work.
Maybe it'll work, right? I mean, this is Chip after all. In these situations, Chip would love to close the gap with his high movement speed and force out some of these great normals he has. No punish on the bonsai overhead. Spacing working out for Flair.
A little awkward there. Nice 6P on the cross of Johansson. Flair ready for the new stuff. Oh, that was Rekka, and he got DP.
Yeah, because he went into the 6B, and when he tried to do the quarter circle input, he registered as that forward quarter circle that a DP is.
Yep.
So he had to do a half circle starting from the back position in order to correct that input mistake.
Unfortunate for Flair, but that's been the story for Chip. There's the parry. All right. One interaction pretty much here could do it, especially with the risk as cranked as it is. Viking is a risk builder. Flair gets hit by the JS. No full conversion, but resets into the Escapari. Got the tether on you. Doesn't go for the OTG. A little uncomfortable with his tether spacing. Going for the slow walk into the throw. Finds a JP. Can't get a full conversion.
And the Haragi as well, seeing that Flair G. Listen, I know you're going for the cross-up high-low, but I don't care. I got Haragi on my side.
Oh, not going to be enough. These Rekka 2 just whipping with the JK. Catching Kermit, jumping back in the corner, and Flair, the ropeless Chip, takes the first game.
All right, pretty explosive stuff down to the wire. I think we are in for one hell of a top 4. Beta Blade from Flair G, just nullifying all of the Kabari RES now. Throw knockdown, Flair G Gamma Blade running in, 6 heavy. Check the jump from Kermit.
Yeah, and Kermit just electing to wait, and Flair catching the delay with a 5H big counter. Yeah, you got to burst. That's going to be a whole lot of damage. Flair finds a way in regardless. 6K on Wake Up.
That's kind of crazy from Kermit. Working out, though. And Flair G going for these fake meaties, setting up for a throw.
Oh, that used to work.
Yeah, but again, those nerfs, right? This is one element, right, where Flair G has these old-style combo routes that were nerfed by Arc System, where it's in favor of making Chip more reliant on setting up the tightrope to get those full corner carry confirms, and Flair G not having that in his arsenal is hurting some of the output that his Chip has. I mean, if he had the tightrope, this round would have been over. Instead, it goes Kermit's way.
Unfortunate for Flair, but that's just the way it goes when the meta evolves. You still can get those old combos, but the delay has changed significantly.
Yeah.
It's way more manually timed. Like most things with Chip, just manual timing. But Flair, you know, unfortunate that they dropped that conversion, but still in it here. Kermit with a crazy biking round thus far. Backdash is going to get caught by that. You're dead.
Good.
2 mistakes.
2 mistakes. It's 7 ivory letters for Kermit here. Able to secure himself a game. And we're all tied up here. Here's the semis.
Great conversion there from Kermit, but we're starting into this game number 3. Escabari to start it off. Nice 5P match from Flair. Gets the counter hit. Stacking up that pressure. 6P. Catches you in the corner. Can't confirm into the Rekka Super.
Nope, not yet. Kermit trying to defend. Blocks the overhead pretty well. Fuzzy jumps to deal with a potential throw. But Flair G keeping the offense tight, but not tight enough. Kermit's jump will work. Flair G respects everything except the Okazemi, but doesn't respect the Haragi as once again Kermit gets the parry. We wake up with a normal, the cross up Yozansen. We'll catch it. Flair G going for that hero burst yet again. We've seen it work out for him before. Can he do the same thing again?
Yep, forces Kermit to burst as well.
Really
and
great.
Wow,
Oh
punishes the
Bro.
JD with JK. Bro, the ropeless tip, bro. They can't stop him. His fundamentals are too strong. He said, what's the new special move? Oh, never mind. I don't care.
I don't care, man. You gotta imagine, too, once Flair G is able to incorporate the full arsenal of the tightrope into his kit, this chip is already so nasty without it. I mean, he's in top 4 of this tournament without that resource that is so integral to Chip's game plan nowadays. It opens up so much for him. I mean, once he gets it in there, good God.
Yeah, absolutely. But great start here for Kermit yet again. Nice backdash on the cross-up Kabar, Yozansen. Escabari counter hit. That's going to do it for Kermit. Taking that round and evening things up in this game 3. And that 2-1 victory is so important in this first to 3 environment. That gives you a huge advantage. Nice conversion there for Flair. Set up into the meaty clone.
Block the cross. The slow 6K, not able to get a huge counter hit stake though. We throw the next one as well as Kermit trying to find the Haragi's. Flair whips a normal to set up some fake Oki into a throw. The wall run combo as well. The extra damage is just enough. Kermit, your burst is worthless.
Flair answering back with 7 ivory letters of his own and taking it to 2-1. Kermit not even taking a moment to breathe. Has the hands warm, needs to get back into this set. All right, Kermit electing to far slash a little more. Flair was doing some run-up 6Ps, so, you know, we started seeing that option less and less as Kermit adapted, but we're resetting the layers here in this game 4.
JS is from Kermit, right? They're getting sniped out continually by Flair G's excellent placement of the jump kicks from Chip. I think Kermit might need to find a different normal to air with, but finds the perfect one to challenge the bonsai kicks. Same side throw. We got the full dose of attention as well to cut the rest of Flair's life bar. Shoot him dead.
With the blicky. Nice stuff from Kermit. Taking the first round here. Pretty huge, especially when you're down 2-1. And this big counter hit's going to spell doom for Flair. Sets up into the tether, wants the plus frames, wants to crank the risk and kill this Chip.
Oh, and we stayed so far away with that S tether as well in order to bait out that Beta Blade. And Kermit with this super and wall break takes yet another clean round over Flair G.
Kermit just capping on these mistakes perfectly. This is such a momentum-based matchup. 2-2 though, game 5. This is it. Put it on the line.
This will take on Daniel Maza in that loser's final. The Haragi gets baited again by that slow 6K.
Yeah, nice usage of it there from Flair. And here's the wall slump, but goes ahead and just busts the glass. Needs the positive bonus, wants some of that tension to have a little fun.
Kabari run up and go for the throw as well, seeing that Flair G wants to block with his FD. Yozansen's going to completely whiff. We PRC, not able to whiff punish though in that slow down time. First to get off of me, H. Kabari to check the approach. Tatami Gaishi though catches Flair G in the sky, brings this ninja back down to the floor mat. Oh, another beta bait faded.
Yep, and Flair electing not to DP after the tether. You know, there is a little gap there, but, you know, just electing to hold it, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It is a little risky, but now the IB on the tether. Kermit staring down the barrel of victory here. Gets the overhead, finds the low. This is going to not break the wall quite just yet. Resetting the pressure.
It's Kabari.
Death.
Kermit will take it in a close nail biter, but after going down 2-1, found that next gear to shift into and steamroll through the rest of Flare G's options and life bar. But for the ropeless chip,
Fourth place ain't too bad.
Ain't
Shout
too
outs to
bad.
Flair. What an amazing performance. Coming back from a hiatus from Strive. I asked them what they've been up to in their absence, after, getting a job and figuring out life. They've been playing Fortnite. And I was like, wow, bro. I was like, wow, bro.
This is what Texas Guilty Gear Strive has come to. Y'all letting Fortniters get into your top fours. That's crazy.
That's Flair. That's the GOAT. He's got that tenure in the scene.
That's
sure,
fine.
he stopped playing a little bit after Season 3, but as you can see, nothing to scoff at. That chip is still a little terrifying. Matter of fact, very terrifying. I'm sure nobody wants to run into that, especially in the meta right now where most of the chips are adapting to the rope, and then you're fighting that, which is like, where's the rope at? Where's the rope at?
Bro, where's the rope?
You're preemptively jumping to try to catch the top rope run, and then it's like, oh, hey, I'm just dashing in, buddy.
Dashing in, buddy. I can't say anything about, who's getting into these top fours of Guilty Gear Strive. We let a Final Fantasy 14 grinder win Dragon Ball FighterZ 2 days ago. Shout out to you, Lucar, buddy. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Saw him chilling at one of the booths back there today. Now we're going into our losers final match, Kermit versus Danny Almaza. Quick little button check just to make sure that everything is fine. We saw Danny Almaza finally lose his first set of the tournament. It was a dominant 3-0 from Walter. So I have to imagine that Danny Almaza, just like we saw Kermit kick into that higher gear, Danny Almaza certainly has more reserves of energy, focus, and determination to delve into. And his first potential victim or worthy adversary is Kermit as well. King of the Sticks champion, runner-up at Winter Showdown, finding himself in yet another top 3 regional/major bracket. Here we go.
Yep, gonna get it started. Nice 6P. Early anti-airs from Danny. He's awake, he's alive.
Oh, using the Johnson to cover the back approach that Danny was going for to try to track Kermit down. Nice stuff from Kermit. Both sides trading. The back throw from Danny sets up another charged on edge.
Nice pressure here from Kermit. Manages to escape the corner and get the offense started. Escabari tether off of the far slash hit. Just gets a little reset for the pressure, but now bursted with full screen. We're chilling.
Oh, Kermit committed to the IAD, I think, and Danny was able to snipe with that JS. Maintain this offense. Dire Clack counter head. This should be a kill for Danny, but no, Kermit says, I'm not done with this round yet.
It's not over. It's not over just yet. Oh!
Are we able to RC in time and recover? No, we are not!
No. Danny finding a way, using that Ride the Lightning to secure the victory in this first round.
Says a lot that the first reversal Danny does is, in fact, a super.
Yep. The DP wasn't enough. He needed the kill, but a cross-up Johnson is all Kermit needs and resets into the tether. I love the tether usage from Kermit.
Yes.
He's using it a lot, realizing that not a lot of people in this top 8 thus far have been 6P'ing it. Because on block, you are supposed to 6P that. You are supposed to react, but it's so tricky when you're fighting a character like Viking, who's a 50-50 machine, with a pressure reset like that.
Uh-huh. I mean, the mental stack, right? That's been something that fighting games as of late have been really developing, just adding so much to look for that, yes, you can react to it, but can you react to that and this and the other option as well? Don't forget the fourth thing that can happen in this sequence as well. You're looking for heavy Kabari, you're looking for all the normals that Viking can threaten at any given moment as well. Tommy Geisch, Johansson.
Nice round start there for Danny, though. Going to take about half of Kermit's life, and here comes a whole lot more with the optimal DP combos. Those are new. Nice stuff from Danny. Finds the 2P. There's the food rock, just keeping Kermit in the corner. All right, now we're taking up space with these stun edges. Oh, the parry gets grabbed.
That last little scramble situation.
Yep, had to hold my breath a little. No PRC on that, no mo.
Yeah, quite true, right? They did take out that OS. That's why they did buff it in another way, though, where you're able to do it from a block string, where your timing has to be very precise. It's like a 3-4 frame window.
Yep.
Collision with the active frames of the opponent's normal. Otherwise, you're just getting blown up.
All right. Danny farming Kermit's burst early on, but immediate burst trade for this game number 2. Nice counter from Danny. Gonna get a full conversion with the DP. He's saucing. He's feeling himself. Double Dire Eclair to break the wall. Keep that shock state going.
Punish on the heavy Kabari as well with the throw. Danny, no stranger to the matchup.
All right, taking it into the second round here, this second game. Danny trying to go up 2-0 right now. That would be huge for him in this losers finals.
In the approach with the bar slash, no confirm available though. Danny again, he's trying to advance forward, but Kermit is delaying these normals just enough to catch Danny moving. Go for the multiple overheads. Close slash catches it. Kermit was thinking a throw might have been coming, trying to fuzzy jump out potentially. Big damage here for that close slash as well. We cranked up the wrist gauge so much with that extended block string.
Yep, look at all that red from Kermit. Oh my God, the throw gets mega baited by Bike and JH.
Well, we weren't able to finish the confirm with the heavy Kabari, so some damage left on the table for Kermit. Burst is available for Danny.
Oh, air dashing in. Nice 6P from Danny. Kermit respecting it. Not really pressing a button up there. No burst, and immediately opts to just go for the round ender. Doesn't really matter if Kermit burst right there for Danny. Had all the meter, all the burst in the world to work with. And Kermit down 2. Taking a little second, just a moment, just a glimpse to compose themselves and get right back into it. Nice dash up 6P for Danny. His round starts have been like, his round starts are so good, man. He wins like almost all of them.
Well, that's the hard part, I think, for Kermit in this matchup, right? You're fighting this Kai that has these amazing normals to compete with your own. Checking you in the air consistently, checking you on the ground. Danny goes for the back dash to shimmy. Kermit not biting, but look at that wrist gauge. If Danny gets that hit, Kermit could very well lose this round immediately and be put at the brink of elimination. 6K catches.
Can't get a full conversion. Unfortunate for Team Danny right now. Oh, counter at FS though. No meter on deck, but this is Bike and she is light. And that's going to do it. Danny looking to make another 3-0 statement in this bracket. It's been the storyline of all time.
6P from Kermit. The Kabari, Danny gets the run up 2P. Nice 6P though from Kermit as both sides are checking each other's approaches. Checking him at the low, catching Danny wiggling in some way. We go for, oh, bro, the fact that Kermit went to layer 3 right now, I'm not immediate overheading you. No, I'm not empty lowing you. I'm going to go for the Yozansen overhead, and Danny was ready for that. Unbelievable defense.
Yeah, and Kermit just looking to maybe potentially bait a DP, but Danny's not biting. Knows he has a huge lead. No reason to blow it with a bad DP. Can't get a conversion off that heavy DP, but it's totally fine. Kermit still does have burst, so pretty good chance here with the 50 meter as well, and the counter hit with the tatami mat. Not going to do it just quite yet. One mix-up, nice block. Immediate DP, and the super's going to do it.
Catch Danny right there. Kermit did build that full Tetra gauge at the end of that combo. I think that he could have been able to RC cancel, extend the combo, and secure the kill on Danny instead of risking that next situation. It works out for him in the end, but maybe the small lack of micro optimization could be the difference maker in the set. Kermit already forced the burst early on, just sitting above half life. Danny zoning with these charge stun edges, catches the air normal with a 6B, drops a confirm.
Oh, stun dipper. Nice defense there from Kermit, trying to stay alive, trying to stay in this tournament. But Danny, he's just too strong. The fuzzy jump gets air thrown, and the parry from Kermit, still awake and still alive. Kermit's fighting back. Nice delay with the FS, catching the Ibarra from Danny.
Throw. We have BRC to keep ourselves safe. Danny will fall down. The DP has been put away for right now. 6B lands for Kermit. Danny's going to burst. Stun dipper, immediate charge stun edge. We don't catch though. Still under duress. YRC, get off of me. Tether yet again. We're going for the jab pressure. Danny still not DPing, still not wiggling on this pressure. Blue Wild Assault, I'm going to settle my plus frames again. Finally, the DP comes through.
Yup, and now here it is. Potential less interaction. Another air throw. Nice tech there from Kermit. He's ready for it. It might just be over right here.
The throw will come through.
You're dead, OTG. Kermit clutching up with a skittle of health and a little smile on his face, a skip and a hop away. One game. What's one game, though? Momentum may have shifted in Kermit's favor. Nice defensive play there. That entire sequence, taking it to 2-1, fighting back in a big way.
Becoming the second person of this bracket to take a game off of Danny. But
oh, the DP gets baited, has to spin the burst.
Finally, we're seeing that Kermit is starting to get on the same wavelength as Danny and saying, listen, I'm making the right reads on you too. We're both guessing each other's options, but Danny, big damage here with the charge stun edge into the heavy vapor thrust.
Yep, he's still doing good. He does have meter, but not a lot of burst on the table. Oh my God, what if I just dashed up close slash, bro?
Both sides.
Are you delaying your pressure? Because I feel like you're delaying your pressure, and I'm going in.
Danny again at set point, the Haragi baited, but not punished. Jumping out too heavy will catch Danny at the ankles. Not a punish hit, so I think we just caught him in his jump. There it is again, the stagger pressure, catching Danny wiggling just enough. Plus block,
Ooh, yep,
immediate DP. Yep.
There's a 2-frame gap right there where you can slide the DP in. Kermit, you know, nobody's DP'd at this entire top 8. Finally gets one, though.
Side swap, and he was ready for it too. Danny says, listen, I know the tricks, I know the gimmicks.
You got a burst. Where is it, though? Nice.
2S, yeah, you had to wait for that moment. All that was safe damage for Danny to stack on. He could have jump canceled. Red Wild, gets us in. Apply the tether. We catch him jumping.
Delayed 2P. This should super. This should kill.
No, he resets the tether again. Doesn't matter. Okay, it works out. Kermit, you are a braver man than I, going for a reset into throw. Maybe catching Danny asleep, thinking, okay, you're going to RC, extend the combo. I should be dead. Wait a minute, you didn't do that.
Well, if you look at that burst gauge, you know, he was real close to bursting.
True.
So maybe Kermit was playing with the level of confidence, even while he's down. Anyways, Danny finds the Vapor Thrust. Heavy damage for Kermit. Losing half his life. Still does have Wild Assault and 50 tension available. It's chilling. We're JDing. We're relaxed. We're in the corner, but that's okay.
Jump, double jump. Now Danny in the corner. Doesn't matter. The 6-speed. Backdash at the Fooder arc. DP at the Tatami Gaish. After all, if you're leaving a gap, Kermit, which you're going to do it on so many of your options, the DP option selects all of them. Stun, Dipper into RC. Charge the stun edge. Hit the Vapor Burst. Baits it as well.
Yeah. He had to burst. And Danny finds victory, baiting that last interaction. The smile for the camera. This is offline. Look, we can finally see his face. What a handsome young man you are, Danny. Nice stuff from Kermit, though. Great placement.
And
amazing losers run.
An awesome losers final as well. Close games all the way through, and also being able to say that when you're in that top 3, you're one of 2 people to take a game off of Danny Almaza the entire tournament. That in itself, in this format, is an accomplishment in of itself. Immaculately done there by Kermit. Proud to see the man once again turning up and performing so goddamn well. But now it's time. Grand Finals is here. Here's a run back from Danny Almaza, coming hot and fresh off of a close clutch win against Kermit in the losers final. Take on the one man who's taken all the games from him and he has not yet beaten. It's Grand Finals.
There it is, and here's
Walter.
our top 8 rounded out. Aside from the grand final set, these were the set counts. We see a few 3-0s, but as we got a little later into the meat and potatoes of losers, a few game 5s here and there. And, you know, it was honestly just a great tournament thus far, and I know this grand finals is going to be banging. Walter looking very locked in, but Danny, with that stellar performance in losers final, looks like he's waking up a little, shaking the dust off, feeling great.
Now again, you know, like I think it's Danny's placement of his DPs and his opponent's block pressure that makes him such a hard force to reckon with. But Walter was completely ready for it in all of those interactions. I think that there might have been one successful DP in all that winners final, and that's like max. That's how good Walter was.
Chip!
Oh, okay.
We're playing Chip.
I mean, you know what, Walter? I can respect it, you know. Danny's been thinking about you, Amelia, since you sent him to losers.
Yeah, so you want to give him something else. So he's not used to the millie anymore. He's not thinking about the millie anymore. Now he's going to be looking at this tightrope, wondering what's going on. And we got Chip at Grand Finals of Texas Showdown. Just a little butt check just to get started.
Right, this could be part of the mind game too, right? Make you think about the chip and then pull out the millie again and said, psych, I'm bringing it back.
I might cry if he does that.
If he does that, man, I cry with you. Don't do it to him, Walter. Please, Sloth is counting on you. I say a betrayer, giving you so much naysayer.
But that is a true testament that Walter respects Danny, knows the level of this player, has lost to him before, I'm certain, or at least, you know, lost a game. It's definitely been close at least once. These two must have played a gajillion times online, but we're about to get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, this will be our potential final set of the day. Grand Finals here at Texas Showdown for Guilty Gear Strive. Gonna get it started with some pressure from Danny. Walter on the defensive end. The burst does not want to go through that glass just yet.
And for those of you who might be new to the FGC, in Grand Finals, this is a double elimination bracket, so Walter is in winner's side. If Danny wants to win the tournament, he must defeat Walter in 2 best-of-5 sets. So Walter can basically use this whole first set for data if he needs to. He doesn't need to win here. He can win in the next set. But if Walter defeats Danny at any point, tournament said and done. We give him his beautiful trophy at our desk. Call it a weekend and a day for Guilty Gear Strive. Same side low will catch Danny. Is he going to burst in this sequence? He's going to block YRC. Close slash. 6 speed. Immediate super denying the burst. Excellent.
Locked it right out. Nice stuff from Walter closing out that first round. Bringing it back, you know, Danny had the gas, but that burst saved him. Love Burst and Guilty Gear. Here we are, round number 2. Danny, Wild Assault to start the pressure. The risk gauge is cranked, almost at red. Walter escaping. Danny has the knowledge not to chase Milia up in the air and get mixed up and put into the corner, but Walter gets whiff punished, and here comes the Ride the Lightning.
Yeah, and Danny, in this matchup against Walter, is very aggressive with his burst expenditure. If he's got the ability to red Wild Assault, he's more often than not doing it just to maintain offense, get these huge combos, or maintain his block pressure. He's able to put Walter down into a last hit kill situation. JS going to lose to the hair car.
Sending the hair car, the active frames, and Walter had 50 meter to play with. Okay, we whiffed one TK Bad Moon.
Hate to see it.
Oh, but the air throw gets JS. Don't chase Milia is exactly what Walter would tell you, but the throw from Danny, nice stuff.
Great awareness there that setup was not going to be meaty enough. There was that couple of frames where he could get that throw off on Walter. Danny showing his matchup of awareness of Milia.
Yeah, burst from Danny, saw the 6H, recognized what was happening, knew that the burst gap was there, but yep, just like you said, Walter finding the JD, finding the wall break.
They're blocking the Capel, the DP, again baited, but Walter flubs the punish. And this gives Danny another opportunity to stay alive here, but we're locked up in the corner. Walter has full resources. DP successfully for once.
This no meter is crazy. You got the 50 meter, might see a full screen hair card. Nice block on the 5D. Extended pressure sequence. Yeah, with that Wild Assault.
Multiple overheads. We only go for the one. Run up 2K, and it's a full pickup here for Walter. The Super's going to extend the juggle.
Yes. Oh, no, not quite just yet. I'm wrong. Danny does have the wire C available. Walter doesn't bait it quite just yet. Danny, the 6P through the JD, utilizing that hair to take the first game here of this grand final set. Walter taking a breath, keeping composure, staying locked in. Danny immediately to character select.
He's applying ice to the bruises that he's been suffering from Walter. Still unable to take a game off of him in this offline bracket.
What?
Hey, yo!
What? The secret weapon? The secret weapon from Danny?
I mean, I know Danny messes around with tons of side characters. Ramlethal was not on my radar. Let that speak for whatever it does about me. All I pay attention to way too many games.
Nah, this is crazy, though. We're going to get into it. We're going to see what Danny's Ramlethal has to offer. It's already looking great, you know. You got Far/Wild Assault. What more do you need?
Immediate wall break, but this very much the damage, right? That's like one big difference I think that we're seeing in this particular matchup here for Danny is that while he's playing it very similarly, right, using these huge normals of Ramlethal with backed up by the red Wild Assault to close the gap against Walter, it's just the damage output that Ramlethal is able to get in some of those mid-screen hits, right? A little higher than Kai at some point. Gets the pick up, Daro to extend. Danny with the character swap, has the sword combos ready, breaks the wall, breaks Walter's health bar with it, and takes the first round.
Danny waking up with the Ram. Turns out he put down the sword for 2 of them. He needed more. He needed more swords, more power, but Walter gets more damage into this wall break. Positive bonus, here he comes.
He's got that Akimbo perk on now.
True.
Dual wielding those 1887. Taking y'all back to Modern Warfare 2. What a block on the cross-up. Danny, though, gets caught by the hair car. Has to block his next mix-up, and yeah, I wouldn't have blocked there neither.
Nice stuff from Walter. Immediately answering back, as he does with 7 ivory letters.
You know what? I want to say one thing, too, actually, for Danny is that his DPs against Walter have really been a non-factor, so going to a character that doesn't have a DP to even represent, I feel like it's almost taking that temptation away from Danny to even try it anymore, thus making him rely more fundamentally on his defense as opposed to the RPS.
First beta, Danny trying to find the last interaction.
Oh, the sword up! Mortabato, but not enough damage. We only had 1 sword to our name, so the damage was reduced. Gold burst blocked.
Gotta block the H-sword. Wow.
Danny takes his first game on Walter at Texas Showdown with Milia. With Ramlethal.
With Ram.
Against Milia.
Yep, we're good.
Ramlethal. I don't know where it was the Mythal. Came Milia.
They're both women.
They are both women. I can't distinguish women apart, y'all. Now you know what a big POS I am.
All right. We're going to get right back into this. One apiece here in this grand finals. The 5K to punish the command dash.
They're both in blue, too. You know what? I can spin this narrative. They're both wearing the same color.
Of course,
this is terrible.
Nice cross-up with the heavy disc. Walter with the depth Oki setups. Look at this. Oh, no wire C.
Yeah, no, Danny just going to let that round go. Walter with another dominant round, but we've seen Walter have that dominant round previously. Let's see what Danny's round's going to look like here. Red Wild sold early on, a second serving as well. Cranking that wrist gauge, we get the sword applied, quick throw. We got the other sword as well, the slash sword. Oh!
Command dash through the projectile. Walter's been playing this character for years. Some things don't change. The burst is on the table. So scary right here from Danny. And yeah, the shimmy catches Walter twice. So hard to RPS when you have the sword on you.
And I mean, yeah, the one thing in this situation too, Ramlethal just giving Danny, a lot more lockdown potential against Walter, keeping this Milia locked in the corner. What a beautiful block on the cross-up. Danny tried to use the overhead flip to jump to the other side, causing the sword explosion to hit on the opposite one, but Walter ready for it. He's going to get the throw right here. Good defense from Danny, though. The mortal battle, listen!
Yeah.
It's still a DP. Yeah, I just need a meter for it. And you'll stop looking for it.
Catches that command dash from Walter. Now we're going to take it into our second round of this third game of the set. Walter blocking for his life, does find a 2P and gets the 6H conversion.
Again!
Oh.
And now all of a sudden, because it's not like a meterless DP, because it's a super that requires meter, Walter is not scouting out these mortal battles. Because we got a hit, I think the attempt at a 6B got caught. Danny's going to get full comboed right here. Walter taking him to the other corner. Back throw though again. Walter not keeping it tight enough.
The JH whiffs, unfortunate for Walter.
What
And
the
Danny
hell?
capitalizes another back throw that's going to close out the round.
Can't keep getting away with this sloth. Ramlethal, Valentine, I did not expect you to be
What is
here.
going on, bro? What is going? Can we talk about? I've never seen Danny Ram in my life, and he just pulls it out and is suddenly taking games off Walter here in Grand Finals. The adaptation is coming slowly, though, so let's see where this game 4 takes us, Makaka.
Absolutely unreal. Danny L. Mathal, if you will.
Nice
Walter,
counter
big
hit.
pickup. Yeah, and Danny. Burst is gone. Walter going to get just the wall break, keeping that tension gauge. Wants to save it. His next situation, Danny with the pickup. Big counter hit as well. Walter trying to swing, but it's a full corner carry as well. Meterless for Danny. Spends it on the Mortabato for the hard knockdown. Walter's got full tension. And yeah, you see that's why Danny's looking for that reversal. Oh!
The CS off the throw. PRC, Danny finding another victory from the jaws of defeat, clutching it up.
Slash.
Yeah, big damage.
Pretty good. Walter's going to get the wall break here. Not enough meter for any sort of hard knockdown. Positive bonus on his side. Danny has to find the next hit nooch.
Yeah, Walter slowing it down, does whiff punish the 5H, but Walter full conversion here. Oh, no, drops the Artemis link. Okay, but
Doesn't
the throw. The mental stack was all there. Danny not wanting to burst, and here we go. Duel 3, let's rock.
Low slash will catch the jump. Danny defending. Yo, we dash and go for the hair cart low. Very risky option for Walter, but it pans out. Danny will spend the burst. A couple of hits go his way. Basically equalizing the life bar. 6P, massive here for Danny. With the Daro nerfs, you don't get a full pickup from that. Overhead blocked as Walter recognizes, yeah, you can close the gap with that. Gets punished on landing the Ramlethal's huge normals. Outclassing Kai's in those situations, so Danny's able to hold more of the screen space and be a lot safer and punish Walter's air movements on ground.
Nice CS to lock down
6P.
Danny, but the 6P again. And Danny
Why is
on
he
the
baiting?
backer, we said. Will it be enough, though? Has so many swords. Difficult situation for Walter.
What tech?
Takes the throw. No shimmy this time from Danny. Dashes through the S-sword. Walter, chance for victory here.
Cross up blocked. One sword's back for Danny. The Capeldo hitting the same side.
Oh!
As well. This is it. Final game of Grand Finals. If Danny wins this, we are treated to yet another set with who knows what character could make an appearance. But if Walter wins, we call it a day and say, Danny, you got a crazy Ramlethal. But it still wasn't enough.
It still wasn't enough. Oh, duel 1. We're sticking to the Rams. All right, game 5 of Grand Finals. If Danny
Back
wins
throw.
this, we play a whole nother set. Walter with the early back throw, like you said. Here we go, extended pressure, nice counter hit.
First from Danny, I agree. The Rockets are going to cover Walter's approach, but we try to cover the ground, but it's Milia. Where else would she be but the heavens themselves?
Nice, and utilizing that super to get the hard knockdown on the wall break.
Whoa!
Artemis dash through, nice blocks from Danny.
The fact you blocked that Artemis, Danny, is a testament to your class and caliber as a player, but a little too predictable with when we are throwing these swords. Walter's been consistently command dashing through them, and now Danny on defense in this corner. One sword returns, but the overhead connects. Walter is at tournament point.
The delay on the air block string, catching Danny trying to press, trying to 6P out of the pressure. And Walter, like you said on tournament point, this could be it here.
Set it up. Overhead catches Walter for once, and he's forced to burst early. Capel. Oh, he tried to check the landing, but Walter able to air to ground him in time. We jump, evade the close slash. Still defending.
These Mizahs from Walter are paying off dividends. Command dashing through the swords, command dashing it right back in, resetting the pressure. Cross up is good. Yeah, no, Wild Assault. Oh.
And again, the overhead. I think Walter's trying to jump or something like that. It's a black beat combo. Danny not able to secure the kill. I don't think we had enough time to rev up those slow special moves around with the big swords. 6P, final round. Here we come.
Backdash 6P, and here we are. Danny on the precipice yet again of resetting, or will Walter take it home right here? Game 5, last round. This is where legends are made. Only a true champion.
Woo! No escape. We get the full confirm as well. Beautiful spacing. Danny able to fight at ranges with his Ramlethal that Kai did not allow him to. And Walter is losing out on the situations. What a block on the Bad Moon. What a tech on the throw.
No full conversion. Unfortunate for Danny. The little unfamiliarity.
Ow! 2 in a row.
Oh, he did empty turbo fall close slash. No 6P.
Bait. Immediate burst from Danny on the close slash that could have been jump canceled, but we get frame trapped as well. Walter not going to be able to break the wall yet. The back throw though. Danny, this is for your tournament life. Oh my God.
And Walter doesn't even cancel the hair card. So patient right now, looking
6P,
for this last
the Dara
hit.
goes astray. We try to get the back throw, but that will be it. Walter defends home territory, denies.
Tearing up the stage. We're tearing up the stage. Texas coming to shower their boy with some love. Walter defending Texas, getting a hug from Danny. Love to see some great sportsmanship from the man who just got second place, Danny Almaza. Let's talk about that performance, that Ramlethal. Danny getting a big hug from his girlfriend. You know he's got a lover in his corner. And at the end of the day, is he even really losing?
Nah, that was an immaculate performance. Walter denies the run back from Danny Almaza, his first U.S. major, and it's second place in Guilty Gear Strive. But what a respectable finish it is, losing only to the man who took the entire tournament from him, not just in set counts, but in game counts as a whole. And what a treat that was to see him bust out this Ramlethal, which fundamentally looked really good. Again, it was able to catch Milia at those ranges that were just a little too far for Kai to reach with his sword. Instead, Ramlethal was catching these landings, punishing them. But we saw at the very end right there, right, that some of that Ramlethal wasn't as refined as it needed to be.
Right.
The second sword tosses in particular were too predictable, and Walter was able to consistently get those command dashes forward, punish Danny for going for them time and time again. And then the back throws, right, what was working so well as a panic button finally failed, and Danny Almaza is defeated at second place here, and Walter keeps Texas Showdown within Texas this year for Guilty Gear Strive. I know nobody cares if he's from Corpus Christi, Austin, Dallas, or Houston. He is right here, right now, and he is Texan all the way through for the championship.
For the first time in Texas Showdown Guilty Gear Strive history, Texas has finally caught the dub.
Oh, this medal right here, y'all, this trophy, this beautiful ass thing, it's staying right here in this state.
In this state.
Boom.
In this state. Oh, man, but we should be getting into award ceremony in just a second. I believe we will be streaming that. Hope you guys are looking. Oh,
Gotcha,
never mind. No award
That's
ceremony.
for our eyes only, okay? If y'all want to see the award ceremony, you should have showed up in person, all right? All I'm saying.
Yeah. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this top 8 as much as I know me and Mangaka did. My friend, my brother. It was such a pleasure to commentate, have the opportunity. Thank you so much to Texas Showdown staff. You can hear the venue blowing up. It's offline fighting games all day.
Yeah, we ain't done yet. We got on the main Texas Showdown stream, Tekken 8 is throwing down, and after that is going to be some Street Fighter 6. I think that wraps it up unless there's another game on the
FX
stream?
Nope.
Nope, yeah, we're done.
Okay.
Probably going to hit y'all with that raid over to Texas Showdown. Enjoy the rest of this fantastic event. Thank you once again, Houston, for hosting one of my favorite events to come out and visit. This is the end of my weekend here. From the bottom of my heart, thank you all very much. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a great night, and we'll see you next year.
Peace.